And I would just like to say good morning in Swedish.
God morgon.
Good morning.
Call me a moron. I'm a what? Damn it.
Spontaneity.
Can you say that a little higher?
The spontaneity.
That's good. That looks good. Fuck, I'm pale.
Just a little bit here.
Remember Death Stranding when the baby was crying? So you bang it against it. It's really warm, inviting. You find out the pillow was
He can't help himself. Marvel's going in the guys. They're almost done.
Pete's plugs involved. They're almost done.
They're almost done. Almost done.
I won't waste
And then
time
we can
anymore.
stop.
Do you know my friend Rupert?
No.
Okay. I thought I'd try. If there's
Mr. Kidner says, Gus Moron.
No, you can't have the chips, Scotty, darling. Don't eat them.
Why?
I didn't realize it was a full cup. It was sitting on the table. I could have eaten them. You had your chance. I was saving them.
We can feed her chicken, not a whole thing of chips.
You can't feed her chips. Not a whole
like
thing
a
of it.
couple, but not a whole thing.
There's like
I know
10
that.
chips. She's huge.
I've never had a dog or child, and I know that.
God.
You can't give a dog that many chips. No. That explains a lot about what happened.
Not
to my
someone
dog.
else's dog. That's like smacking someone's child. Hi.
Welcome to Back Pocket for Thursday, the 25th of November, live from the LokiCat studios, starring Steph Bed Dixon.
Lower
Peter
than ever
Bird.
before.
Angus Ronald.
No, William.
Little
Yeah.
Angus Ronald.
I'm just still looking at Steph.
I'm Nick Richardson. And I think I'm in trouble. And tonight on the show, we unpack our carts and turn this ravaged nuclear blazed battlefield into a brilliant farming
floors.
diamonds. I'm crying.
This is all gone to shit.
Called XO1. Also, neurocracy is not a real word, so I couldn't work it into this sentence.
Very disarming.
Yeah. Very disarming.
What a start. We can't even cut to me while I talk about things hilariously because the camera's stuck on you. So you guys talk.
I had spicy tacos, and that was a bad choice 30 seconds before the camera's on you.
Everything is wrong. We didn't do a rehearsal.
No.
For the first time
Yep.
in probably ever. We've
Yep.
done a rehearsal every
And we
single
thought,
time.
we'll be fine.
For 60-something shows, we've done a
Just
rehearsal.
severely misjudged the time it would take to get here in the monsoon that is happening.
This
right
is true.
And I forgot to put my pants on. And I left the shorts on.
I thought the shorts were.
I thought that was a look. They look great.
Of course it's a fucking look. I look amazing.
look great.
But normally I would, people pay extra for the legs.
Oh, I see.
Especially on that
That's a
angle.
Patreon- that's a Patreon
Careful.
tier,
You
though.
better have some inliners on those bad boys. Otherwise, goodbye Twitch channel.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you here, everyone. Barjo, thank you for the raid. I'm sorry that you raided into a lovely, shallow focus shot of our studio. Are you okay?
I just got the spice from the tacos.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm not even on camera. Hi, everyone. Okay. What else needs fixing? There's something else fucked here.
Well, our camera. Why is it always so high?
Yeah, why is our camera always so high, Pete?
why
did
you
Well, why do
say
you
that?
keep getting up
Of
and
course he's
changing
gonna
it
get up and
if it's so perfect?
wasn't high, it was wide. There you go. How's that? It was
Yeah, it's
wide?
fine.
It's just that you said lower than ever before.
the show started.
Well, maybe if someone fucking wasn't out picking up Mexican food, then I would have.
Maybe we wouldn't be picking up Mexican food if you didn't throw it over the goddamn floor.
I get it.
Tried to kill my dog.
Too spicy.
She would have died of a salt explosion.
Oh, please. They were the driest fucking unsalted chips I've ever tasted in my entire life.
She could be pregnant.
I'm just gonna go fix that thing. We forgot that thing. This all usually happens in rehearsal. No, put the ladder back. You're gonna break something. You're fucking crazy. See, mine wasn't a bit. It was a bit of a bit. That doesn't go there.
It does
I can say that now.
It does tonight.
Full nips out and show. It's getting near the end of the year, everyone. Things are gonna get looser. You think this is loose? Nah.
This is just the
We
start.
care not for the quality of the show anymore.
This is still the pre-show. Should we do a new intro?
No.
Should we do it?
I think we should own this and continue
Okay.
in the trash fire
In the
way
way
that we've set it out.
that
To.
we
okay?
assured this won't hit the buzz reel.
It was just too close.
It was what?
Too close from like out of monsoon car on camera. The time was too
Yeah,
short.
yeah, and my head is in a bunch of other stressful things that I don't want to think about.
Would you like to? Well, if you know what I was about to say, would you like to tell me what they are and I'll help you? Do you want to tell me a fake one?
No, I'll tell you the real thing. It's
Okay.
annoying. Okay.
Okay.
So I am
Oh, show? Let's do an actual show. That's my opinion.
How about?
I'm open to hearing other opinions.
Can she say what it is,
And
and
we
then
talk
the
about it.
audience has time to figure out a solution,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about it. in the
I'll
podcast.
allow that. Go.
Okay. So I obviously work freelance, which means that I'm taking on different jobs at different times, and the schedule of that is constantly in flux, particularly with COVID.
Yep.
And so finally, for my dad's 75th birthday, we booked a holiday with my family. And I'm very excited about it. And then we were like,
there's
let's
totally-
bring Peter's family as well.
There's totally
Oh, great. This is like an excuse to
He
do
could
stuff
go off
as
and
well.
fix
He
that.
fixes the sound stuff.
I'll stay here.
He could
Yeah.
pluck the B out of this computer.
So for my dad's 75th birthday, we booked this whole trip, and then we were like, let's get Peter's family in there too, and Peter's sister, and her partner, and like everyone was like, yes, let's all go. So it was like this never before like thing where we were like, let's get all our families
Yep.
go on this trip together, and then a thing that I am contractually obliged to go to.
An unavoidable
An
work
unavoidable
commitment.
work commitment popped up in the middle of it, right in the middle, and there was just no way to avoid it. So I then moved the entire trip for 11 people and paid all of the change fees to get all of those things moved, to shift it back a week to accommodate this thing. And now another job that I have has now decided to book itself, or change the shoot date to the new date.
Wait, the original thing moved or another thing?
No, different
Another
thing.
thing.
Okay, right. Also frustrating, but the original thing moving. The original thing moving would be heartbreaking as well. Yeah.
No, the original thing is fine. So now it's like it's a significant chunk of my income next year.
Yeah.
So it's like if I don't do it, I would be nervous.
How about
not
this?
To do it.
How do you feel about this? Me, in drag, you on holiday, I get 10% of whatever you get paid and you get the rest. So I just slip in, take that spot.
Or
No one will notice.
me and drag
I have.
on the holiday. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know your dad that well. I know Pete's family would enjoy it. I'm not sure if yours
I was
would.
talking to my dad today, and I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do. He's like, listen. He was like, the holiday, you can go on that anytime. And I'm like, but this is never going to happen again.
Getting that
So
many people
There is
lined up.
never like
That
getting
is,
all those people
that is
together.
just, and the older you get, and the older
That's
like
never going to happen again. And my dad, he's like getting on a bit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost my mum early, and like,
There's only so many of these that you can do. But,
Yeah.
we had a family holiday to Slovenia, which is where my partner's dad is from. He fled there during a civil war. It was like 17 people going to Slovenia, got cancelled because of COVID. And of course, it's like, it's probably never going to happen now because the coordination of all those people, it was just too
Yeah.
much. It was
Yeah.
just like no one's lining up the schedules for a 3.5 week trip to Slovenia.
and doors aren't opening. Borders
Unless
aren't
you take
opening.
over for me in drag.
Done. Slovenia is a very accepting nation, I believe, when it comes
Yeah.
to. Oh right, okay.
I'm not sending you on my holiday. That's not the stuff.
drag.
Oh,
The
sorry.
version- the only
I could go on your
version-
holiday.
The only version of this plan that Gus is contributing to is where he goes on either of our holidays
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, okay, yeah. In drag.
As the person who's like got the most holidays coming up, and like they're all working, I just keep getting offered holidays. I'm like,
true.
no, I'm too busy for this one.
That's true.
The only version of this story that comes out well for me is if this client wants me enough to like change
Move
their
everything.
whole structure. And
So you
What
got
are the
between
odds?
now
What
and
are the
then
odds?
to become even more.
50-50?
I think they're pretty low.
God. Do you want me to talk to them?
Sure, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'll get on.
Yeah. Just be like, wow, you can't hire anyone else for this job.
All right, good. Pete, he's over there like a...
We've had a small audio problem. Apparently, some buzzing through the line. That Mexican just found its way back. That was not it.
This never happens to me. Like sometimes I burp, but it's usually pretty dainty. Why are you just burping so much? Is it the way? Is it just the way you eat?
It's actually because I spent the weekend with my niece.
It's like, why do dudes take so long in the bathroom? I'm in and out.
Let me solve one.
No, what are you
Whoa,
doing?
whoa.
That's you.
I'm
That's
in and
what
out.
I'm putting on makeup and stuff. I mean, pooping. Why do boys take so long to poop?
I'm putting on makeup while I poo.
Like, because that tells me you have like
So-
that poor.
No. Okay, can I take
nothing to do with that?
Can I tell you what the actual thing is? Because you're getting a lot of this from Pete.
No, I would
Pete's-
say men in general just go in there and they take reading material, and I'm like,
I mean,
what?
definitely you take reading material, but Pete's grandfather or grandmother or someone told him, always wait for the second movement. And that's true. And ever since Pete told me that, I was like, you know what? I could double my toilet time. And it works.
It does.
I feel clearer. I feel lighter. I feel unclogged.
I just feel
I
like
agree.
I just feel like unless I've had some kind of trouble, disaster, I mean, just in and out.
Yeah.
I think it's also like the other answer is the fact that sometimes you're just off your feet all day. It's like it's literally the only time when nothing is bothering you. And
So
like
you're-
not to be the cliche dad who's like, I'm not coming out for another half an hour.
It's not taking you that long to poo.
God,
you
no.
poo, and then you just sit there for ages afterwards for the hell of it.
Yes.
You could sit somewhere else.
There's things that will
not
distract you,
undisturbed.
not undisturbed like that. I mean, I live alone.
live alone!
I know. I'm glad we both got there. But I think it's more of a case of like, I'm not near. Well, I would say I take my phone. Everyone does. Like, if anything, there's like a weird level of.
I don't.
You have a very demanding cat.
I do. But even just like being near things you should be doing.
Thank you very much, Peter Burnett. Thank you very
You
much.
never take your
Is there a
phone?
buzzing?
No.
So I'm going to talk about the fact
I
that
never take my phone into the bathroom.
it's definitely when I am sitting, I have some free time. Generally, there's an app called Pocket, appropriate. It's like a long reads thing, save an article. So I'll generally try to get through a full article. And these are long articles. They're like 7-10-minute reads.
I think we're good. I'll watch like a 10-minute YouTube video.
Should we start a show again?
No, this is fine.
I go in there and I focus on the task at hand, and then I'm out, and then I'm back out again.
I think it's just one of those things that's like, I mean, if I close the door, I get a little paw underneath doing the dunk, dunk, dunk,
I don't want to
dunk,
spend any more time in there than I have to.
Oh, really? It's wonderful. You
Also want to fix
The only
Don't
thing
forget.
is, though, to be fair, and I have thought this several times. If someone said, "I'm going to just sit a bowl of poo underneath your office chair,"
Yeah.
would I feel comfortable sitting there for any length of time? And the answer is no.
No.
But for whatever reason, on the toilet, I'm like, I could stay here another 45 minutes, and if someone could bring me a snack, that'd be great.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
No.
I'm not here to justify it. I'm
so
just here to
strange.
tell you it's how it works.
Do you think you do it because your father did it?
Ooh.
No, I think my father was like you. I think he was
Sneaky
in and out. My dad never, fussed around. He was in and out, and that was it. I'm like, I was the one. He'd be like, "You fall in."
And I imagine like a 3-year-old going, "You fall in?"
Like legs up around your ankles.
No, you're the 3-year-old making the dad joke to your dad who's sitting on the toilet.
Oh, right.
Though my brother will hate the fact that I'm telling this story. He did used
Fall
to
in?
fall in the toilet all the time, and he would just get wedged in. So it would be like he would sit like that. So these are his legs, and this is his tiny little butt, and then he would just like over the course of 5 minutes, just like sink in like that, and then just get wedged, and he'd call me to cut him out. The other thing is, I used to read in the toilet when I was a kid, to the point that my parents got angry that I was taking books into the toilet, because it would be like, because I did that thing of like, no one's disturbing me. I could read for 20 minutes here. And so they got really angry. And so I started hiding books in the toilet, and I would hide them behind the cistern. And then my mum would like find them and
You
be
got to
like,
the level of-
stop hiding 3 investigators books behind the toilet. I'm like, no, that's my
I've
reading
been to some
material.
How
people's
many?
houses, and they have like a stack of reading material next to
Yeah, the
it.
gross thing there is leaving it near the particles and everything. You need to. I'm expecting, Nick, you never got to the point where you hit a Goosebumps in a Ziploc bag in the cistern or something like that, and you were like, no.
But like, I'm a hitman
Yeah,
killing
exactly.
someone in a restaurant.
sandwich bag, pick that one out. Couple of minutes on the bog, and then you're good.
Good.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show.
I sat back down. I still haven't fully caught up to whatever the hell you're talking about.
Why do you take so long to poo?
Not you specifically. I mean men.
Men. She's being very sexist right now, but we're letting it slide.
Hey, Chad agrees.
It's also
with me.
what I
Like,
spent so long
It's a dude thing. Yeah, it confuses me because I think that if you're taking a long time to poop, it means that you need to adjust your diet.
No, it's literally like it's not long time. It's like in
But if you're going
10,
there
20
and you're
seconds,
just, and you're
poo,
just hanging out,
poo's like what?
it's weird.
10, 30 seconds depending on like how we're going.
Yep.
And then you're just sitting. And then
Upwards
you're
of sort of-
thinking about like, I don't know about you guys, but like generally I'm thinking about drills and big trucks and hammering drills onto big trucks, getting tattoos of big trucks with a drill hammered onto it.
Men.
Chicks.
Chicks. Even I can't force that kind of stuff. Chicks. Oh, dearie me.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. How exciting. Oh, if anyone... So...
Would like to start the show again?
I promise we'll get to the video games in a second. I swear to God. But last night, I thought I pulled off a great scam. And to the point where I started dancing around the living room and demanding that Beck... I yelled out for the kitchen. I went... Beck goes, "What are you doing?" And I go... "Well, shut up. I finished the thing up. She's like, "What are you doing?" I go, "I just pulled off the scam of the century." And she's like, "What?" And I come into the living room. I'm doing one of these dances. I'm like, "You can call me the Scam Man." And then I just started calling myself the Scam Man and dancing around the living room. Now, the point is, the scam was great, but there's apparently been a fatal flaw, and I need 2 forms of ID from someone, and I'm being totally serious
Do
here.
we get to know what the scam is?
Yeah,
Or
I'll
is
tell
this
you.
like something that you could get actually arrested for?
Well, I mean, it's a crime in America, but it's one of those, it's a victimless crime. Like, it's a total victimless crime. So, okay, can I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Or should
We're
I-
expecting
I'll tell you
it.
what it is. Okay, so, this doesn't go beyond this room.
We're live on the internet.
There's a lot of libraries these days do lots of ebook lending.
Oh my God, it's a library
Oh my
scam.
God, he's
library
stolen
scam.
ebooks. He were downloading those back in the Emule days.
But Australian, but they send them to your Kindle, so it's like from Amazon official. Yeah,
He cracked the
they
decimal
but
system.
the local libraries just don't have a great selection in Australia. It's not really caught on. So I was like, there's an app called Libby that does this, and I was like, I wonder if I could sign up to a New York Public Library. So I was like, I couldn't, but let's try. So I went to New York Public Library. It's a 5-step sign-up process.
So this is like a VPN thing, but for books.
Yeah.
That you're.
And so I go through the whole process, 5-step process. I'm like, surely at some point they ask me for ID. No, they ask me for an address. I search up apartments for rent in New York. I put one of those down. They ask me where I work, NY University. I'm a professor.
Good evening, Ron. I'm the scam. I'm here to teach scam.
Scam Man, Professor Scam.
Your
Man.
lesson 1 is...
And so then it all worked. They gave me a library card, and I managed to then add that to the Libby account, and now I can rent or borrow books from New York Public Library that just gets sent to my Kindle. And I figure this isn't a real crime because I'm not stealing these books. It's a library.
As a published author,
Yeah.
I can say that the authors get paid lending rights.
Exactly.
For books
So you,
that
if
go to
anything, you're
library.
contributing.
If anything, I'm contributing to the arts, Gus. The problem is they sent me an email today saying, "Hey, enjoy your temporary 14-day membership. You just need to send us 2 forms of ID saying that you live in New York."
So you need Pete Davidson.
I need Pete Davidson. If anyone is watching in New York or another major American city with a huge library and has a library card and doesn't use it to borrow ebooks, but wants to give it to me to borrow ebooks, and you just need to give me the library number, card number, I would love that. So you could tweet me at NickBoy,
Scam Man.
give me that card number.
But so.
He's now looking for a legit...
So you're not
Sure,
looking,
this is
you're not
legal.
looking to borrow someome's identification.
It's identity.
No, because it's signed up in my name, so they would need So I'm like the easier thing, unless or alternatively, someone who lives in America in a major metropolitan area with a wonderful library like New York Public Library doesn't have a library card and wants to sign up on behalf of me, then that's fantastic too.
No one wants to do that for you.
Of course they do. They're thirsty for my attention. Look at them.
I would have thought that would have been easier. I don't know why.
I just thought the scam was going to be more exciting.
And I think
I like it.
Lorinda May has wrapped it up perfectly in saying this is a very Nick problem.
Those books are for American eyes only.
So let's talk, Americans. Let's talk. This is not a money thing. This is a give me your library card.
Give me
number.
your library
thing
card.
means the library ID thing.
Yeah.
So wait, just the last thing to clarify, if you rent a book from a library to your Kindle, it has a timestamp, it goes away.
21 days, and then it pulls the license from your Kindle.
Yeah.
And they have a certain amount of books. They've got everything. They've got fucking everything. It's crazy. And then if there's 100 copies of this book available as an ebook, for example, and then
So they can be out.
they can all be out, and then they just put you on the wait list, and they notify you when it comes back in, and they go, "Do you want to borrow it?" And then it's like, "Yeah, sure."
Interesting.
That's weird and arbitrary.
And it's got
Yeah.
audiobooks as well. It's got audio. Let me show you the Libby app. Pete, we'll get to video games. You don't even like video games, Pete, for fuck's sake. Look, Libby. So this is Libby. So this is the library. So give me a book. Give me a name. Empire of Pain. There you go. This is one I read before, and I just thought I would check it out. You can get the audiobook, 18 hours long, or the ebook, Empire of Pain. Give me your library card. Good.
And so these books are not available to you here?
There's just a smaller selection in Australia. We haven't caught on with this whole ebook. It happens, but it's just not as good.
Yeah, okay.
You want to go to the mecca of capitalism.
What about if you sign up to like a US Amazon Audible account?
I've got that.
And that's not covering it?
No, I read too many books. Yeah. Anyway, and I need an address. That's the thing. It's not a VPN thing. It's not an access thing. I need physical addresses, proof of
Do
identification.
not give this man your home address.
It's just a library card. You
Don't
don't
do
even
it.
need to give me
Starts
the
with a
library.
library
Sign up
card
to the fucking
and
library
ends
and
up
send
with
me
a
the
liver.
goddamn library card. For
a
Christ's sake,
kidney.
is that hard? Is it that hard? Seriously, think of all that we've given you over the past year.
Well, don't think about the last 27.
Okay, should we talk about video games?
Ah!
I'm just saying, give me a library card. Brought to you by Brent Jones,
That's the shittest bully ever.
aka LokiCat.
He'd give you his library
Oh my
card
God,
and his
he
lunch
would.
money, and he's bigger than you. Well, I feel like he'd be more imposing than you.
He's molested Alf before.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
mean.
true. That's true.
He'd have no problem molesting you.
He wouldn't.
I believe that was consensual.
That's true. You can't because a wax figure can't give consent.
But he wasn't wax.
That was real Alf.
That was a real Alf.
Yeah.
I think I originally thought it was a wax figure.
That was real.
I've made that mistake already. Because he's in Madame Tussauds in that photo, I think. Isn't he?
Changes everything.
Stone the Flaming Crows.
Oh my god. Okay.
Video games? Video games?
Yeah,
Video games?
LokiCat. Yeah, let's talk about the first video game. Peter.
I don't remember.
Peter's broken. We're all a little
You don't remember the
remember
past
the
week
video
of
game.
video games that you've been playing?
No, how am I meant to?
You've been playing Pokemon Brilliant
Well, I remember
Library
that.
Card.
You brilliant.
Pokemon came out last Friday,
It's back.
and I was playing it. I've had a car in the mechanics for the last week and a half.
Perfect timing.
So I've caught the train a lot, and I've been playing Pokemon on the train. And I'll tell you what, it's the same game it's always been.
Oh, that was real. That was real.
Still the same game.
People look at you on the train and you're like, it's the same game. I'm in my 30s.
I really enjoyed playing Sword and Shield late, like I played it this year, and all the advancements of the technology were exciting. Because it's the same game, but at least in that it was like there's a little open world area that you run around, kind of in a almost fully realized 3D space. I mean, it was a 3D space, not like a Breath of the Wild style huge scale thing, but enough to be like, this is a new idea for Pokemon. Going back to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I don't have any like nostalgic affection for this generation in particular. This is Gen 4. I started playing Pokemon at Gen 1.
Gen 1 was red and blue.
Yep.
Gen 2 was yellow and...
No, Yellow is still Gen 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gen
So-
2 is
And then it's Gold and Silver,
Yep.
and then Ruby and Emerald, and then...
Pearl and...
so Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald was the yellow of
So
that
this was
gen.
still on game?
So this was DS. This was the
DS?
first...
Yeah, right.
This was the first one on DS, because the other... Because
Previous ones sort of Game Boy
Game Boy
Color?
Advance.
Oh, God, yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's been one every generation of Nintendo handheld, basically.
Yep.
And of all of them, these ones don't particularly stand out to me as being like, oh, I remember playing these ones. I think Sun and Moon, after Gen 1, this still feels like Gen 1 to me. It was like Sun and Moon was like, oh, they're doing something different. It was like...
Was that the next
3D
one
era.
after this gen?
No, there was Black and White.
Jesus.
Still on the DS. Then there was X and Y on the 3DS, and
Oh,
then
God,
Sun and
yeah.
Moon on the 3DS. There's been a lot of Pokemon games, and not a lot has changed. But I will say that it's still fun. It's still that same game of like...
Chess hasn't
grind yourself.
changed.
Chess hasn't changed. People still like chess. And, you know, a lot of people talk about this one as having like the ultimate starter selection compared to, I mean, number one, Gen 1 actually has the best, but these ones, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Fire Monkey,
Monkey,
and turtle with a thing growing out its back.
Yep.
Okay.
So nothing new.
Not really, no.
But they're all good. And I feel like it was kind of this generation where they started having proper kind of mixed ability Pokemon. It probably was like introduced a little earlier, but it was like, this is a fighting fire Pokemon in a real distinct way. Like it's good at fighting and it's good at fire. It's not just a fire Pokemon that learns a couple of like normal moves as well. So by this generation, they kind of had nailed the formula of how to make combat more interesting than you know, rock beats scissors. So that is at least making it interesting to play. The one thing that I was concerned about going into this, I think the chibi look of it is adorable. The whole game looks amazing. And then I was like, oh, but then you go into this battle engine and it's like,
You've
something
got the
completely
full-size
different.
humans?
Full-size humans and the Pokemon play out in this 3D arena. But the reality of it is that they would have to rebuild everything.
Is this what it looked
including
like?
The battle engine.
Is this what it looked like?
No. This is just the modern battle engine. So it looks different to the modern this version's overworld, but it's the modern battle engine. And because there's so much detail in the battle engine of like every Pokemon has all of its movesets and all the animations that are attached to that. It's not as simple as going like, let's chibiify all of it and suddenly you're good to go.
And would it just be weird if a little chibi character threw out a Pokemon that's the size of them?
Yes.
And that's why they're like, this makes even less sense. It's a bridge too far.
Yeah. The thing that is like, this has I think the art style here is really cute, and I wouldn't be sad if this is like how the isometric Pokemon stayed going ahead for at least a couple more. I mean, there's going to be so much Pokemon before I die. So I reckon there'll be a couple more iterations of exactly this. You know, I'm having fun, I guess. I'm grinding it out and enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the grind of it. Yeah. I'm 4 badges of an 8 badge and Elite 4 games.
I am really curious as to what Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, what's
it called? Pokemon Atreus?
Atreus, yeah.
Atreus?
Yeah. Atreus.
Is going to be... I was listening to the Giant Bombcast last night, and they were talking about the new one. And they were saying that it's actually time for Nintendo to recognize that their audience on Pokemon is totally split.
Yeah.
In that there are 12-year-olds who are playing their first Pokemon, and there are 30-year-olds who have played every Pokemon. And those two people are looking for wildly different experiences in a video game.
Yeah.
And to add some sort of like, I'm 30 button that makes everything harder or more intricate or something.
Yeah, and that's what the community around Pokemon has done for itself in creating the Nuzlocke runs, and which is where you enforce
Nuzlocke runs.
Yeah, of course.
You enforce rules upon yourself,
right?
Yeah.
They're not in the game at all, but it's things like every time I enter a new area, I can only catch the first Pokemon that appears to me in that area.
Right.
If I kill it, it dies. If my Pokemon faints in battle, it's dead. I have to put it in a box and it's dead. So like it's a dark version
I have to put it in a bag and toss it in the river.
Yeah. Jesus.
But to me, like, that's not in the game, and it's just like things people are doing. It's it's house rules that people have put together to try and challenge themselves. And I don't think this game necessarily needs to be more challenging with its current mechanics to be fun. I just think it's like you need to battle other people if you want that.
But whether or not that new evolution of it, that is the Breath of the Wild inspired one that we looked at, which we're all quite skeptical about, I don't know if the difficulty of that's going to be wildly different as well. Like, I think a big part of Pokemon is that they are approachable for all ages, and that's kind of which I think has run its course, but I think that's part of the genre of Pokemon. Like, and that's actually my biggest turnoff. I just find them a cakewalk. Like, it's just going through the motions. I haven't played a lot, clearly, from my knowledge of all the generations, but the ones I've dipped in and out of, I find that grind really dull. I appreciate that I didn't really have the nostalgia to find that as fun, but it's just like those first 2 towns, it's like it's still tutorialized. And I imagine it's similar here. It's like you hit that gym, you need to come up with the one ability to use.
Basically, everywhere you go, you're being like handheld through the game.
Yeah.
I've got my 4th badge, so I'm halfway through the game. And, well, maybe a third of the way through the game if you think about all the end game stuff. But there's like effectively Team Rocket in this is Team Galactic. They all have the adorable aqua hair bob cuts, which are amazing. Adorable? Yeah, they're cute. Okay. But particularly with chibi style, they look cute. It's like, don't follow me. And then runs off screen, and you're like, well, I got to follow you. And then you follow it off screen, and because it's, you go through loading zones, you go through the loading zone, and he's waiting on the other side, and he's like, you followed me. And you're like, I'll follow you. It's all very handholdy. And, these are games for kids, but again, I grew up on them, so for me, jumping back in every now and then is a fun thing to do. I don't need them to be any different. I think I'm so close to having played Sword and Shield, 6 months ago that this is like feeling a bit dull.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going through the motions again.
No, fair enough.
But yeah, I think it's a very it's an honorable remake in the honorable in the. Oh yeah, you think that's funny?
I really do. There's so much deference. There's so much Pokemon love in your heart that to use the word, it's an honorable remake. About a Pokemon
in that it is, and in that it honors everything about the game.
Yeah.
It is a one-for-one remake.
Yeah. It is a faithful, loving remake.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is certainly, there's not a lot new, but there's a couple of little things that people are excited about. The underground, you can dig gems out of the wall and shit.
Oh, never let him go.
Don't look at me. I've never understood it.
Never let him go. He's a gem. All right, Gus, take us somewhere wildly new.
Sure. Let's go to outer space. I saw a little game on Game Pass that came out last week or late last week called...
Is it on Game Pass?
It is. Called
It's free.
Exo 1? I think I picked it up, I played it in one sitting, so if I got the name wrong, it's because I've only looked at it once.
Like this last week just didn't happen to you guys. You're both like, what did I do, Nick?
It's okay, yeah. It's been a busy week. It will continue to be a busy week, so squeezing game time in is a bit tricky. But this was perfect for that. This is a game that's as I said, on Game Pass. It's about a 2.5 hour game, I would say. And
it's $20 on Steam as well.
Oh, okay. There you go. And it is essentially, you said it, not Flappy Bird, the other one. Flappy Wings.
Tiny Wings.
Tiny Wings, thank you.
Yeah.
It is Tiny Wings. If anyone remembers that old mobile game where you used to be a little bird that used to have to use momentum on the hill, you'd tap to push down, and then you'd want to hit a slope on the decline, and then use that to rocket yourself
become
up.
a ball to fall.
You are a ball.
You are a ball.
You are a ball ship, and there is this very abstract, very obtuse story that's kind of weaved around. But essentially, you are an alien spacecraft, or you're a type of craft.
I think.
Okay,
I'm only halfway through.
Okay,
I think you're a very advanced human.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say yes. This is alien technology. You are possibly human or from an English Humania. And essentially, you are navigating this ship, which, as you can see, is a ball, but can also flatten itself out into a disc. This is essentially if Flappy Birds met Flower and did it while Interstellar watched. It's like
they did it while Interstellar, from an honorable Pokemon remake to Matthew McConaughey in an abstract library jerking off watching books as those two games do it.
That's what he's doing through that weird mix. Anyway, okay. I mean that in the sense that you might have just seen that there's like some flash frames of some imagery, including like an astronaut family, shots of the planet Jupiter. There's all these little out of context audio logs, which are just gibberish, but you see the text down the bottom, and it's saying something to do with like a sort of a failed space launch, finding technology. It's all abstract. It's all out of order. But essentially, as a gameplay mechanic, you are just trying to get across these huge, stunning maps. And by stunning, I mean like if, again, like a Windows 98 screensaver had a crazy glow up.
You don't stop and
Well,
look
Matthew
at,
McConaughey.
Oh yeah.
you don't stop and look at the textures. You zip past them, and in zipping past them, you're like,
Yeah.
light bounces so nice.
And you are heading in every level towards that blue light, which is kind of like a giant sort of alien rail gun that if you touch it will send you off to the next planet. But essentially this movement system that you're seeing here, that's essentially it, but the weather and the way the world sort of adapt makes it really interesting each time. You are running out of charge when you're a flattened disk, but if you're a flat disk through clouds, you will keep flying. Like that gives you energy, and that'll run out.
Yep.
And again, if you hit like a slope on the wrong angle, you'll kind of come to a
It's such
full
a weird
stop.
concept. It's like when games like this come out, I'm like, somebody was messing around in an engine.
Totally.
thing, and they were like, actually, just this is enough.
This bit's really fun.
I could just stop now. Yeah. I don't need to add in the Last of Us Part 2 story that I was trying
I would say that at no point does the game really promise a really in-depth story, and in that sense, the time I played it, it doesn't really deliver much on a big kind of like explanation. It's quite abstract in that sense. The music, I think, helps that. It's really meditative. It's got these beautiful little just sort of like funk notes that just sort of play with that like cool echoey vibes that phase in and out of it as you go. If you can get into a role, it's a really, really kind of like hypnotic and very meditative kind of state to play through. And then I found it like played it on a huge TV. It actually looks sensational when you like get a really good zip up in through the clouds. You break through. It has some beautiful kind of like Back to the Future clouds. But then all the planets have different biomes. So there'll be ones with water that you can start as one little sort of gameplay mechanic develops. You can't, as a ball, you'll plunge through the water. But if you turn into a disc just before you hit the water, you'll skim like a stone. So, and then waves start to occur in that water. And so it's like, it does that sort of periodically through each planet or each stage. And again, it was just really calming, really satisfying. I had a busy day at work. I didn't want to sit down and listen to story or anything like that. I played through it in one sitting, and it was really great. There's, I'd say, even a couple of levels later on that really play with physics, gravity, almost have a little Mario Galaxy-inspired kind of like puzzle element to them. And that was, every level brought something that was quite different. And yeah, I really loved it. It was just like, again, I think the shorter games get, the older I get, the shorter they are. I stay the same age. All right. Back to Matthew McConaughey. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. You played.
Yeah. I echo the sentiment. It is like, I think the most satisfying thing I've put my hands on in terms of like a moment-to-moment feeling of game.
Yeah.
Shade.
After everything you've done.
It's such an honorable physics system. No, it's just like, it's unbelievable. The feeling of it when you're on a roll is just indescribable. You expect it to feel good, but it's just something clicks, and the music helps, and the sound design helps a lot.
And even all this stuff that you're seeing here, it doesn't really have to ever explain itself. Occasionally, there is a warning at the start. This is like photosensitivity, and not just for what you're seeing here. There are actual flash frames in it, and that can be quite amazing. You're just like going through this alien atmosphere, and suddenly a flash frame of some astronauts,
Yeah, cool.
like, will just be like poof in your face. And I was like, it's affecting. I don't know what effect it was having, but it was just still feeling very out of body.
Does the story
very
pay off?
I mean, no, I don't think it ever promises.
Don't
to,
play it for the story, but play it for the gameplay. And
Yeah, it definitely weaves a little interesting kind of like. At the end of it is left obscure for you to interpret, I think, and I really enjoyed that because that's what a lot of this game was doing. It's like essentially you're working out what are these structures, who are you, where are you, why are you there. I don't think it needs to really deliver on that because it knows what it is, which is just like a tech demo that really got sexy. And it was like, in the vein of something like Flower or Journey, it felt really cool to just vibe with something for a while. And even here, this level, you see like a little speck in front of you moving along, and I was like, maybe that's another person playing this game. I don't think it wasn't, but like just even thinking about that for a while as you play something, it's like it's a nice kind of I didn't know what the game was promising, therefore it was exciting the whole way through.
Cool. Yeah, great.
And yeah, for 2 hours and on Game Pass. If you had a stressful day in the office, if you had to put up with some shitty co-workers, just settle down to a little bit of whatever this game's called.
XO1.
XO1.
All right.
It's on the screen right there.
I know.
First off, I'd like to say, very much enjoying having a little comedy sidekick sitting next to me. It's very enjoyable. Do you remember the video games that you've played this week?
I do.
Cool.
I do. I chose not to play a horror game this week just to kind of,
Boo.
because it was all that I've been playing for a while.
You're on thin ice, man.
So I played a little bit of Halo.
Oh, good. Shooters.
Peter said one night, "Do you want to play some Halo?" And I said, "Sure."
And how was that?
I didn't hate it.
Didn't halo it.
I just didn't love it, and I think that was
Not your best work.
that was pretty.
Talk us through, how did you start? I don't know if it was Pete walking you through this or...
Well, yeah,
We went
it was
straight into
so-
ranked.
Oh god. No. So we started off with some bots,
Good.
and that was really helpful because, the cool thing was, I guess, learning how and why it's different. Having not really spent much time in the multiplayer, I've played through like Halo campaigns and stuff before, but I haven't spent much time in the multiplayer. So learning to not aim down sights is hard, and learning that grenades are such are so
more
prolific
important than your gun.
when you're and then I guess also the fact that like I'm constantly kind of backing away and hiding to try and not die, and I think one of the most valuable bits of information that I got from Peter was that sometimes you have to aggressively go forward.
Yeah.
Especially when someone's throwing grenades at you, you kind of tend to go backwards into more
totally.
damage. You kind of have to go forward and
You break that shield, you thump him in the nose.
keep pushing.
Fight over.
So we didn't do any like 4v4 stuff. We just did big team battle, I think, which is what I wanted.
We did some of the bot arena.
We did some of the bot, yeah. And yeah, I liked it. I think I really enjoy that game mode with the seeds because it's like, I like it when people are distracted with lots of different stuff. It gives me more opportunity to shoot people in the back, which, as I've said before, is
Your favorite thing to do.
it's my favorite place to shoot people.
Oh, okay. That's a point qualifier.
It's funny, just I've been playing it non-stop the whole way through, and I dragged some friends in who haven't played since Halo 2 and 3, and they have totally forgotten how to play that kind of combat that you're talking about, which is like, sometimes you need to charge in, sometimes you need to run away, and then the second you hear your charge reboot, you need to throw a grenade at a wall, and it bounces back, and then you turn around and you're hunting them, and it can sometimes do these little like back and forths that go on for so much longer than a COD or something.
Yeah, totally.
But my friends didn't get it, and I'm just going to say, I love my friends I play Rocket League with and stuff. They were playing it like COD. They were sitting back in corners, like, trying to get kills from across the map.
right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, this is Halo. You got to charge in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, no one's on the point. No one's on the objective. I got pretty angry by the end.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
must
even
be frustrating.
Obviously, we were playing against bots and stuff, but like I saw an immediate result in playing that way. Then once, so big team battle, I feel like I like that seed mode. I don't love the flag thing because everyone's focused on the flag and...
Capture the flag.
Yeah.
It's like the most classic...
Well, I don't know.
Most classic.
I don't know if it had some
Arena
like I don't know if it
thing.
had some like fancy game mode name or something.
But
like,
perfect. While someone's
Halo
carrying the flag,
Yeah.
perfect opportunity to shoot him in the
Shoot 'em
back.
Yeah, I would
Round
say that
one,
mostly
that
they had
flag
people
thing.
around them that
That's true.
would shoot me from a very far distance.
Yeah, in the back end.
Fair enough.
So I found a less success in that game mode. But yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I didn't hate it. I would play it again, but I enjoy Battlefield more.
And how fucking annoying is this event right now? The answer? Very. Love the mode, but yeah.
I worked it out. I played the Fiesta-y,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's it.
the gun spawning
Yeah,
mode.
that's
So they
it.
put in some like slightly more like
In Halo?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a playlist now for a fun version.
Just this week.
Yeah, right. Where it's like every time you die, you come back with a random weapon. So everyone's running around a map with just weird weapons.
You might
and
have
it's
a
gone a
rocket
bit-
launcher
Yeah.
at spawn.
Yeah, and stuff like that. One thing I do.
It's actually 3 weeks, but over
right.
spread over 3 separate weeks.
Yeah, so you've got a week now and then January and then February, I think.
Yeah.
Or there might be a month in December, a week in
maybe.
December.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's an interesting thing to do with a battle pass is like, because this is a battle pass within a battle pass.
Yep.
The season pass still exists, and then there's the event pass, and the event pass is 30 levels as opposed to 100 levels of the season
Sure.
pass, and you've got 3 weeks across 3 months
Yep.
to get those
Unlock
30
these
levels, and you're unlocking things specifically tied to
that.
a themed to the event, which is
Right.
The challenges
armor in this.
and the challenges with the flag icon next to them
Yeah.
is the thing that you have to do to unlock the stuff.
Yeah, those menus for 343 is usually good at this. I found those menus and
Those
just
menus are not good.
translating what's going on very difficult at this point. The only thing I wanted to ask quickly, probably you, Pete, just on Halo, was I'm playing a lot. I've just realized how small the kind of like amount of maps I'm
7.
playing. 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I for part of me feels like I'm okay with that because it feels like I am playing a beta. It is an early access.
Do you mean the number of maps or the size of the
The
maps
number
themselves?
of them.
Oh, okay,
I was
right.
like, I remember Halo.
They're all great maps,
They're
but
really good.
but it is like
well, on these,
yeah.
3 or 4. I'm actually
hoping they're
totally
really
okay with it, but a
dripped
little
out.
part of me just, it took about like a
There's
week
no
of playing
more
to
maps
go
at
like,
launch. It'll be after launch.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sorry, I was saying I hope there's a regular
Yeah. Me too.
drop of
Yeah,
maps.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was just like, I hadn't really looked at the ones you can access and do custom games with because I was like, I've played the same map every time. I am so okay with it.
There's 3 big team battle, and then there's
There's a couple of the arena ones. The one I
Yeah,
ran
I think
into.
it's I think it's
Might be
7.
10
I
maps
thought it was
total.
7. Yeah, 7 and 3.
The one I ran
7
into
arena, 3.
that is now my favorite is the kind of asymmetrical one where it's a single capture the flag, where there's like a road that wraps around a big hole in the middle with a gravity lift. It's all like in a kind of ODST city.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh
love
my
that
god!
one. Yeah, it's great.
I've just started playing that one. I don't know the name of it.
launch site.
Launch
Yeah.
site. It is It is
it's
old school Halo. Everything's nothing symmetrical. Everything's messed up.
Yeah.
You're like, where is everyone? Oh, it was good. It was good.
I think this is my shooter. Like,
Yeah.
it's back, man. Like, and I think it's probably as good as Halo has ever been.
Yep.
There's still a bit of work to do, but I think over the next 2 years, this is going to become
totally.
the best shooter
Oh
on
my
the planet.
god. Oh my
It's a
god.
new
There's
mod
going to
pass
be
on that?
there's going to be PvE stuff.
Yep.
There's going to be battle royale modes.
I'm done with
There's already shit in it. Like, there's just going to be so much stuff that's going to hit this. That's going to be the right thing for everyone. Like, there's going to be a right mode. There's going to be there's
There's gonna be every kind of mode.
There was
There's
a wave
no
mode
way
in
they're not bringing,
ODST Firefight. Was that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh.
No way. It's
I'd
the most
play
honorable
a
shooter.
wave mode.
Most
I'd play a wave mode.
I just
So fucking
just
pumped.
very quickly, I just want to point out in chat that Agent Triple B and UMG Techo are having a sub off where they're competing to give subs. So we see you both, and thank you very much. May the fight continue.
If anyone else we would not encourage this behavior, but we do entirely. You're in direct competition with each other, and the winner will get all our love.
This game is so fucking good.
Yeah.
This game is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It also just the last point is like it doesn't feel like it's aimed too high. It's just doing everything so well that I'm with you. I'm so happy that you're like, I think I'll play this for a long time because I'm gonna play it for a long time. It feels like a big, comfy, nostalgic blanket that just I'm like, this game again. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that it's there.
I'm happy for 2 reasons. I'm happy that this is a Halo game that feels really good to me, and I'm also happy that it's a Halo game that feels really good to people who've never played Halo before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have so easily been this thing that it's like, this is perfect for anyone who loved Halo 2 and 3. It's back. And it's like, and there's 35,000 people that play it, and then it dies in 2 years.
Yeah.
I think this will have legs, and
It's got staying power.
Yeah, so happy.
I'm getting
maybe
so
in the-
sweaty. I'm getting
maybe
so
in the
sweaty
news
with
or
it.
something, Steph, you mentioned that, like your response to like the fact that this has come out before the single player through whatever if they planned to do this originally. I think it's the perfect rollout.
It's very. I think it's very clever.
I think it's just going to make everyone super revved up and warmed
Yeah.
up for when the single player drops. The single player is going to be either amazing or it's going to be okay. But even if it's lukewarm, it's going to be like elevated on the fact that everyone is enjoying everything that's here. I'm sure it'll be great.
I'm going to play it, but I'm going to wait till the co-op comes out. But I think also what will happen is that if people have gotten into the multiplayer and then maybe fell off the multiplaer, the single player comes out, they play that, and that brings them back in.
Totally, yeah. And it
Yeah.
doesn't come in with that stupid COD where thing with COD where you get 3 games at once when you put the disc in, you go, I don't know what I want to play. It's like you're drip feeding this stuff out. I think,
Yeah.
it's great.
What else you been
But I still prefer Battlefield, so I've been playing more of that.
Cool.
I think I understand people's frustrations with Conquest, and I understand that it's not the best version of the game. And I think they're going to keep patching it to make it better. But I
There's
also
a huge
like
patch coming out.
Yeah,
like in the
yeah,
next
yeah.
day or two.
I think that the vehicles are one of the biggest problems at the moment. But I find it really odd. That there's like when you're in there, there's so many people in the global chat just talking about how much they hate the game.
Yeah.
They're like
really?
level 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Like, why are you wasting time just venting like this?
Especially if they did it like one of those live action ads where they're through, I hate this.
Yeah.
But
But I usually find I have some games that I hate, and then other games that I just are really successful for whatever reason, and I have a lot of fun. And it's nice to warm up with Conquest and then go into Hazard Zone, which I still think is so great.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I like it is it's almost like it's a more... To me, it feels like a more fun, interesting take on a battle royale situation. Even though it's a different mode, it's still putting you in teams around a map facing up against each other in a really tactical way. But with the extraction points, it makes it more interesting than just a circle getting smaller.
Yeah, I
And
always
it's-
prefer that stuff to a battle
and it's
royale.
still kind of grouping you together in that way that a battle royale does, but just with these, I find the encounters way more exciting in Hazard Zone than I do with
the comparisons to Escape from Tarkov have been really like, everyone's been making them, and it's like, I've never dipped my toe into that game because of how intense it looks and how overly complicated it looks. Escape from Tarkov with the inventory and everything. But that draw, as people have been saying, it has that same feeling of like, I'm in a large space, there are enemies around me, there's AI and there's humans, and it's like a little bit of Hunt Showdown had a bit of that, where it's just like, I love that mix, and it surprises me that it's not everywhere as much as...
And it's still really challenging, and I think it's always a really good, because we've had a few amazing extractions and you just feel like a hero, and then when you get extractions lined up, then you get access to more tactical stuff, so it's like a great rush. But there's been times we've just had like a run of failures, and I never feel... It's such a testament to a game mode when you fail a lot but don't feel frustrated by it. It just makes you want to go again, because you're like, man, we got so close that time. If we just done this one thing differently... then we would have had it. So then you kind of want to go straight back in.
Which is such a difference to battle royales, because that is highs and lows. Like winning a battle royale, it makes you want to play it forever. Losing constantly in the first 5 minutes.
Well, I always say that I spend more time in the queue than
totally.
I do in
It's
the
the most
game.
disheartening, disarming thing. It just makes you feel horrible, and it's like too many of them in a row, and you'll put it down. Whereas I think these modes, they can keep going.
I really like it. Then I streamed Unpacking over 2 nights, which was really great. We had the Unpacking devs Witch Beam on the show when the demo launched, and so I got to play through that, and it was just really, really, really wonderful. It was nice because I got to talk to chat a lot more, being more of a meditative game, but it was also a really fun game to stream, because if you are particular about the way you organize things, then you have a specific way you want to do stuff, and everyone else has their own opinions on that. And then there was a really lovely story element woven into it as well, which was not what you thought it was going to be.
Oh, interesting.
This is still there.
I was about to say, do we have the spoiler bumper up? Because I was going to ask.
Be careful.
Was I right?
I won't, because it's on Game Pass and everyone should totally play it. And,
Yep.
and it's just worth kind of going through.
And from all accounts, it's not a spoiler in the sense that it changes that. It's just something that happens gradually that you discover, which is quite lovely.
It's nice to experience.
You don't lift out a body out of a box and go, oh god, like I'm a veteran.
If I'm not,
What a twist!
I think the game is a really cool idea. I think it's beautiful. I know so many people love it.
I would, if they brought out Unpacking 2 tomorrow, I would immediately play it.
Yeah, right. But if
It's for packing.
if I'm not into the idea of the unpacking part of the like placing and that sort of thing, is it still worth playing? In that, does it tell a sort of story where it's like...
The story, I don't think, is enough to compensate for the fact that you don't like the mechanic of the game.
Yep.
It's not like that involved.
Yeah, okay.
It's more just that like it doesn't have any text or dialogue. The story is told through the objects
taking
themselves.
items out of a box.
Yeah, and like, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, so I guess block your ears if you don't want to hear this, but...
Block them.
Warning.
Warning.
I'll put my hands down when you can unblock your ears.
Like,
You don't have to
there is
Yeah,
one
just
point in
give me
this
a moment.
person's life where...
Stephanie, wait a minute.
oh my God.
There it is.
There he is.
It's so against how this game feels to play.
Yeah.
There is one point where you're unpacking things, and this character is moving in with someone else, and it becomes the personality of the person that she's moving into, just based on their house, seems very different, and then it becomes
Then you are. Yeah.
You're the character that you're playing as, and it becomes very apparent that they have not made space for you. And your achievements and the
that's
things that you've
nice.
done, and so it's a really subtle thing.
As a
but-
mechanic, it's not nice in a relationship.
It becomes
gaslighting.
it becomes very apparent as you're kind of like putting things around that this relationship is not going to be a healthy one.
Yeah,
And-
right.
And it's such a subtle thing. It's not like it's not overt, but it's just like you have moments where you're like, oh, there's actually no spot for this thing, and you're like, oh, I see.
This prick.
This prick, yeah. So yeah, it was really
This
nice.
is
It was
my
really
house.
nice, and I actually, once it was over, you know, the sort of unpacking becomes more involved. Once it was over, I felt such a sense of accomplishment, and then I was like sad that I had no more things to unpack. So,
So I went to my room and I packed some things.
so yeah, I really, really liked it. It's on Game Pass or it's on Steam, and they're Australian devs, and it's just a really lovely, unique game that is
great.
unlike any
Cool.
I've played before. So I recommend it.
I only see people love it. I only see people like go,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's so beautiful.
It's
so
really
amazing."
cool, and it's just really satisfying in a really wonderful way. And
Speaking of satisfying and wonderful things, what else have you been playing?
the most satisfying thing I've ever put my hands on, Nick,
Yep.
is a tractor.
Hey!
With a drill
That's what I
nailed
call
to
my
it.
Dick.
Gross. Okay. Well, funny you should say that, actually. Funny you should say
Talking
that.
about fecal matter for like 20 minutes.
No. That segues right into what I'm about to talk about, which is Farming Simulator 22, which we spoke about on the news this week. And I said that I was going to play.
Wait, the tractor thing segued into the farming?
Let it finish.
Just let me finish.
Go ahead.
Which you may be surprised that I have enjoyed.
Yep.
I don't know that I've done much farming. But,
Yep.
Reese and I jumped in last night,
Okay.
and here is the result.
I know what's about
Yeah, of
to
course.
fucking happen.
Lovely.
Trouble with this hay bale. The machinery is all really interesting to learn.
Nice.
Fresh hail. Hey, not hay.
Oh, the car. Flip it. Whoa, lovely.
Yep.
Excellent song choice, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Good work.
Yay!
What you wanted to do?
I thought you were trying to get it out. Here it is. Here it is.
That's a
TOS! TOS!
What a load.
It's-
Oh my God.
It got into the neighbor's
Man,
property.
it's
Good. Good.
Yeah, so it's very funny. It's very janky in all the best ways. All of the machinery is very like manual to learn. Weird different types of forklift. Every machine has a different function, so you can't use one machine for another thing. And there's
real
just and it's like a persistent world with people like living in it and driving around and stuff. So you can go and try and harass them like we did with forklifts. We raced our forklifts down the road and flipped trucks and all kinds of stuff.
Did you make your animal farm freedom shelter?
Look, the animals weren't the focus.
We'll go to the
of
other
this
clip, will you,
particular
mate?
Session.
He's allergic to hay.
Thank you.
I was distracted, as you can see, with other pursuits.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely will. There's a lot of mods and stuff that you can do with it as well, and just have like infinite money and buy like 20,000 sheep. We just couldn't figure out how to get rid of the sheep once we bought them.
It's strange that
Well,
this
you know the answer to that.
Well, I won't do that.
this series and a lot of the simulators that are similar, it's funny how they've got two large audiences.
Yeah.
They've got two sets of like, there is obviously the hardcore simulator fans who love either farming or simulators, and they get into it and they love that every time you sit in front of a truck, there are all these buttons that you're like, I don't know what any, press this button. Ladder comes up. Okay, that's the ladder button. But then I think, and the people who market this game or these games know that there is a huge audience for people who just want to fuck around, who want to get in there and disobey everything. There's almost, you can tell with a bit of the jank and a little bit of some of the objectives,
Yeah.
you're like, they know this is still, people are not taking
If they had released that clip that you just showed us as their official trailer, it would have done better than the official trailer for Farming Simulator 2020.
But then
Well,
they-
there's been 22 farming simulators, so it's obviously
the
been
trailers
very
they release
successful.
with like rock music, and they almost like juxtapose the music in the trailers with like someone mowing wheat, and you're like, they
Yeah.
know they're taking the piss, but then people
it's-
just want to try it out.
It's so funny as well because like they've licensed all of the actual machinery and brands and stuff for like all of this agricultural equipment. And like when you're creating your character, it's like you choose your overalls and there's like 3 different types of branded whatever workman gloves and stuff that you can choose from.
King Gee. Is that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
I think it's King G.
it is King G.
RB
G
Sellers.
King Ghee is
King
the
Ghee is-
brand of calcified butter.
And then once you're kind of in there, with all this very serious farming equipment, trying to figure out what each thing is for and how to use it, it's very funny. But then if you ride a horse up to it, everything just flies up into the air. So it's very funny how like at once very serious and straight it is as a sim, but then also just totally ridiculous and it's.
I had to
so
review
I
one of
think
these.
we'll have some fun streaming it.
I had to review one of these for Spawn Point back in the day, and I was like, ugh, what a chore. And then I sat down, and there were moments of actual, like, delightful panic as you sit in front of a huge vehicle that you've looked at as a kid and gone, I wonder what it's like to drive that, and sat in there and gone, pressed a button, and something starts going horribly wrong, and you're like, there's...
The thing that I'm excited about is you can have 8 people in the game. 8. So,
Co-op.
You can
yeah.
Wow.
ruin that.
And are they all working on the one farm? Is there like
I believe so, yes.
farm
I
owner
believe
and they
you
come to your farm?
you have a server person
Yep.
who runs the farm and we're all just like working on it.
English
so,
backpackers
Yeah.
working just for cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
driving
visas.
tractors into
Driving.
things and
Just doing, wrecking the place up.
yeah.
This is how I imagine, like, because obviously one day
The trailer!
you guys will have a real farm and it'll be a beautiful little hobby farm. But I feel like if you somehow came into an outrageous fortune, you would buy a farm and do this.
Buy it, wreck it, and then just sell it and move
Yeah.
on. Penises in all the paddocks, and then we
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tractors in all the paddocks.
It was aliens.
Oh no! Oh god, that poor person.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're fine. Okay, good. Farming Simulator 22. Will, you there?
Wilbo, are you
He's here.
watching?
He's there.
I can be.
How are you?
Buddy.
It's me. And I've been playing a little game, and I remember it because I've got it in front of me, and I'm forced to
Nice.
look at it before I
Cheating.
hit play.
man.
So, yeah. I've been playing a little game that is not ready yet, so I'm going to keep talking until I press the button. I've been playing a little...
He's gone. Wrong one, mate. Got it.
If that's it,
It is,
is a bit-
It is the
couple
wrong
seconds.
one.
I thought that was a bit.
right.
I
it's a
thought
very
it was
good bit.
fantastic bit.
A little game I like to call.
And
He was about to drive off, it went, William, and then took the math screen over from him again. Pause the joke.
That's a good joke. It's
Good.
It was a great joke. And it's a great little game. This is from the creators of Dead Cells, so it's not similar in any way, but in terms of quality, it's all there. It's how they kind of put it as a firefighting adventure game, and so it's kind of just little dungeons. I'll go a little bit deeper into it. Little dungeons that have a fire. You're a firefighter. You've got to put out that fire. And there's a bit of a like propagation system. There's little cats that you can rescue as well, which is always nice. I'll try and find. Yeah, so there's a propagation system. So it's like if you don't put it out and you move on, it'll come back.
Yep.
And as you go, there's more and more little elements that get introduced. So there's levels where there's a fire, but there's also an electricity thing, and so you can't put out the fire because you'll get electrocuted. So you've got to find the switch. Will turn the electricity off to be able to put out the fire. And then there's sprinklers. A really fun thing. You can fire forward. You can fire up to kind of cover yourself in a rain of fire, or
Yeah, nice.
there's a few different ways to do it. And you chain
mean
that
water?
to
Yes.
yes,
A rain of fire.
fight fire with fire. That's
Yeah,
that's how
exactly.
it works.
The saying.
But yeah, it's only short. It's about 2 hours. And I played on PC.
You
Well, it's
love
nice and
2-hour games.
Dude.
Yeah.
And these are all like little, you said dungeons. Are they like little levels that have an end goal, or is it like Dead
It's always
Cells where you're
just
sort of trying to do
end
a
the
run
fire.
through the whole game?
No, yeah, there's no roguelite sort of
Right, okay.
element to it. It's just level based. And yeah, you just got to get rid of all the fire in the level, and then eventually this final door will be openable, and you
Right,
can move
gotcha.
on to the next bit.
Is it-
there's a
is
lot
it-
of fun. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it more puzzly than action? Because it kind of looked actiony at the start, but then you get into these
Yeah.
areas that look a little more like a little brain tickler.
It's one of those fun kind of experiences where you're running in and it is very action heavy until you get to the levels where a lot of elements are at play, and you learn you've just got to slow down. Like, don't worry about getting all the fire, just work out the right path to knock that bit of fire out to be able to get that electricity off. And there's some clever stuff at play.
Terrible advice if you were fighting a fire in real life and you're like, hey, don't worry about all the fire.
Just slow down.
Don't worry about it all.
We'll get back to the fire.
We'll get back to it eventually.
Yeah, cool. This has been on my like to check out list because it's been getting good buzz from the people who I've seen talk about it. Would you describe it as fun and satisfying? Because I think the one thing is like that these kinds of games where the gameplay mechanic is sort of a spray of something or like a less focused version of action, hit or miss, but you are finding it fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like it's super satisfying being able to just demolish that thing. There's those few moments where you're sure you did it, and then you come back and there's a fire and you're like, oh, I just didn't do it that extra second. To really level it out. But it's super satisfying, and it's also like visually wonderful as well, which is always a plus with an indie game. And there's lots of like the wonder of indies where it seems like a very simple story and then they just throw a bizarre curveball that still fits within the world. So there's some fun stuff deeper in as well.
Is that spoilerific by the sounds of it? Like, we don't have to bring up the buzzer, and you don't have to tell us, but...
Yeah, it's not spoiler because you're not braced for it. It's one of those indie twists where you're like, okay, cool. It's just a bit of fun.
Is it only on PC?
I see it. Sure.
Are you playing on PC?
I only knew via... I'm playing through PC, and I only saw it through gameplay, that brilliant segment we do.
Of course.
The game
plan, you mean?
Plan. You remember the name?
Back Pocket.
Yeah. That segment
Yeah, it
that
is.
you put together each week.
That show me we make
what? Yeah.
back pocket.
He's channeling the vibes we're all bringing tonight.
Because I think it is only on Steam. That's annoying because I want it to be on Switch.
Yeah,
because I would
everyone's
like to play it.
shut now.
Yeah.
This
I would
should
like
be a
to
Switch
play it
game.
on the train home tonight. But alas. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
recommend something very honourable to put on the train.
Would you describe it as the most satisfying thing you've ever put your hands on?
I have never held a hose like this before.
Nice.
Good.
Hey, you don't hold a hose.
Great.
You don't hold a hose.
And to be fair, this is...
You don't know.
You don't hold a hose.
I'm saying you don't know what he holds. You can hold anything right now.
William, do you hold a hose?
Will, in that room?
He doesn't know where you're going with this. Neither do we.
It's like there's no right
He's gone because
answer.
unless he
You don't
did
hold
that.
a hose. This is Scott Morrison. You don't remember
Oh,
Scott Morrison?
yep.
I don't hold a hose.
Okay, that was
We all thought it was.
You went
we all
political.
thought-
I thought it was a
and
dick
we
thing.
went dicks.
No, I would move
went
on from the
thought- we went-
penises. I was doing a Scott
Bring Will
Morrison
back.
bit.
I was
Will.
like, I was
Scott
like,
Morrison bit.
Can you bring Will back for a second? Will, you can jerk off whoever you want. We all thought that Pete was saying something that he wasn't. He was making a political Scott Morrison reference, but
didn't
you
know what
can
was
hold
going
whatever
on.
hose you want.
Yeah, cool.
This was highbrow, but it was not expected to be this highbrow. He's leaving.
You can back up, but you press the
Have
button.
to grab a hose.
He's got it.
Okay, good.
Lovely. Nicholas, what kind of things are you holding?
I have been in the middle of renovations in my house.
Sure.
So I've barely played anything this week, but I have put my hands on two things. The first one, a very old game that I had fun with, don't think about it anymore. And through having children, it is now the number one thing in our house, the most anticipated thing of every night. Children wake up in the morning at 5:30 and call out for this thing.
They love Halo too.
They love Halo as well. And it is Mario Kart.
Good.
So I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart, and it's been a thing. It's actually been such a great thing. Just the best part of my day is after the kids have a bath and before we have dinner, we sit down and we do a Grand Prix, like 4-track run.
Yeah.
And it's all of us. So
sick.
me, Beck, Banj,
Yeah,
and
lovely.
then Elkie is too young to be able to, like, we turn on all the, like, assists and stuff.
Yeah.
But Elkie's too young to be able to control it, so I hand her a Xbox controller, and then I tell her that she and I are doing
Controlling
the one together.
Yeah.
So
cute.
so she picks the character in the car and stuff, and then I control it.
Very
so
cute.
Elkie fucking smashed it. But it is so cute, just calling out for Mario Kart every night. Banjo, surprisingly good at this game. Weirdly surprisingly good. But I think that I've said this before, I think, with when it was Animal Crossing, which was the first game that he played. But rediscovering these games through a child's eyes is just like makes you realize the wonder that is video games, and how I think I take for granted the fact that multiple times a day I jump into different worlds. And because like we go into a map and suddenly the kids are screaming because like there are cows or donuts or dolphins and we're underwater and they literally cannot believe it is happening. And they vibrate with excitement. And then every time it comes up with finish, Elkie screams and then runs up to whoever finished and she's like, Mario, high five! And then you have to give her a high five, otherwise she just stands there with her hand. And it's just like the fucking best.
It's so true as well because we have when you play a lot of video games, you become so
Cynical?
used to cynical, but also you're familiar with like
Yeah.
every mechanic.
Yeah.
You've seen it all before, unless it's like wildly revolutionary. So when I was playing Luigi's Mansion with my nieces, and I would leave them and I'd go do some work and I'd come back and they'd be like, Steph, we figured it out because we couldn't kill this guy, but then we went up to him and then we realized that every third time he lowers this thing, and if you shoot him with that, then you do the damage. And I'm like, amazing. And they're like, how good is that? And
Tender
I'm
rule
like,
of
yeah.
threes.
The glowy bit is way weaker than the rest of it.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And it's like the most amazing thing and
Yeah.
the best discovery, and
Totally.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
So Mario Kart is now like, we do it like every second night at least, but it's just, it's been a blast.
It's also why we have to take our own frustrations with Nintendo with a grain of salt, because it's like, oh, here we go, Nintendo doing the same old stuff again.
Totally.
And it's like,
This
Pokemon
is
still
what-
not
this is
doing
what-
it. You don't get to crawl.
It's honorable.
It's an honorable remake. I saw where you were going with that.
I will defend it.
Feats defending its honor.
So that's been a lot of fun. And then about as far away a game as you could possibly get from this. This is a game that just came out a couple of months ago, and I've been meaning to check it out. I started playing it this morning. I haven't put a lot of time into it. It's technically like... Let me double check the name of the game. Yep, I'm good. I always forget how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
It's technically a video game, but actually it's like a text-based murder mystery called
I love that.
Neurocracy. So Pete has very kindly set it up on this computer here. If you don't know what it is, it's a 10-part game. It's set over 10 consecutive days. The first day or episode is free. You go to this website, and then if you want to unlock all of them, it's like $15 US or something. But this is the website that you go to, and this is all the information on it. And so you go visit Omnipedia, and it shows you this Wikipedia page. And then it has this banner up the top of Donate Now. You go to Donate Now, and that gives you the option to purchase this game.
Right.
But if you don't want to do that, then you start just going, okay, this is the game. And you start just clicking into articles
Oh, God.
and discovering this world. And the way that it starts is that there's definitely, I don't want to spoil too much, and also I don't know too much, but there's definitely a virus situation, which is very prescient.
Not
And-
computer virus.
Oh, sorry, you mean
Human virus.
like a
Yeah, sorry, human.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
human.
Yeah,
virus.
yep.
But the way that it starts is this thing that is. So if can I go? Yeah, I'll go back. The first article is "Are You for Real?" and it's about this reality TV show in this world. It's a.
I'm sorry, before you go any further, if you click on the Donate Now button,
That's how you actually unlock
That's
the rest
how
of the
you
game.
buy
That's
the
the
game.
only thing I clicked when I was setting it up.
Yeah.
you unlock the rest of the game.
Yeah.
This is like pre-game.
No,
chapter
this
one
is
of
the
it.
game. This
Chapter
is the game.
one of the
Yeah,
game.
chapter one is.
Okay, right.
Chapter one is all the articles that you can click on are kind
Got
of
it,
like
got it.
chapter one.
Right, and then by hitting the Donate Now button, you unlock
can
the rest
purchase,
of it. But
yeah.
you still have to start here.
Yes, yeah,
Got it,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
And so the main article, this is the same as how I got it, so it's not like randomized in that way. Is about this reality TV show that's hosted by this AI called Ctiy, who is also on trial for killing someone who was on this reality TV show. So you go, okay, cool. I'll click on that. This is the first like Wikipedia page.
Well,
You read through
God.
this, and then it just links off. So you can hover over this stuff and find information about it. And then it just starts linking off to different articles, like within the Wikipedia thing, to be able to start learning about this world. And it is so well written. It's much more interesting than a Wikipedia page. It understands, like, you don't want all the backstory, you just want the stuff.
Yeah.
But I love games that really commit to their bit, and this is just like such a solid commitment to doing the Wikipedia thing, but you are investigating this murder.
Have you finished it, or are you?
No. I haven't
Does
even
it seem
finished the first
like-
chapter.
Oh, okay.
Does it send you an email saying, you donated $20 in 2006 and we're asking for your help again? Running our servers is expensive. Once a year. This is the final time we'll contact you.
100%. And then there's this button here, random article, that if you're like not sure where to go, you can kind of hit that, and it just starts feeding
Okay,
you
good,
new
yeah.
things that you haven't seen yet.
Because I can see you could very easily not get lost in it or just lose direction of where you are.
The clever thing that it does is that it's got two different things. So the words that are underlined with sort of like hard normal underline, which like one I just clicked on, like this person's name here.
Can you control plus punch in a little bit? Will that work? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, nice.
So anything with the full underline is taking you into an article, but anything here is gives you just like a pop-up, so that you can't get too, you kind of can't go
get
too-
lost down
can't-
the rabbit hole.
Yeah, too far down a rabbit hole. But it's so fascinating and really well written, really cool. Such a clever way of doing this.
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, I'm really,
I wonder how this ends in a satisfying way, because I feel like I would want it to, and I know this is cheesy and lame, but I would want it to go down the Doki Doki route where it starts
Something
to kind
starts
of
messing
falling
and-
apart and,
yeah.
and going crazy. Whereas if this just ends up in a really satisfying end Wikipedia page where it's like, congratulations, you solved it, I'd be like,
I feel like it's leaning hard on the trying to be so real it's going to finish with like
I feel like
political or
it
a
is
news
going to-
vibe.
it could link to videos maybe.
It could.
Yeah.
Because Emily as Away did that, and that was great. It had a fake YouTube page with all of the music videos and the
That's right,
the
yeah.
meme videos that were relevant in 2006
That's
or whatever.
what I thought
and
as well.
that was so great.
The other thing it could
do
be
that.
is like her story, which didn't really have an ending. It was just kind of like you go, oh yeah, I think I've worked this out.
That's walking on the house.
Sure. No, that's the video.
No, that's gone home. That's the video clip one. The girl,
You like
she's being
watch a
interviewed,
bunch of
A
FMV.
series of
playing-
interviews, but
playing
you're
guitar.
watching
That's
things,
right. Yeah,
you're watching it
yeah,
out of
yep,
order.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
But anyway, so this is called Neurocracy. And it's free to check out the first one. I never remember the name, so I always just Google Wikipedia murder mystery game. It's like the third thing that comes out because
Yep.
the first two articles are Wikipedia entries on murder mystery and game.
That title definitely leads to two other indie games. One which is a bullet hell shooter. One which is like
Totally, yeah.
an anime style story game or something. Yeah. So
But or Omnipedia will get you there. But yeah, it's such a me thing to be checking.
Very-
out. So
yeah.
and that's it.
that's it.
That's all I've been playing, and a lot of Halo. What have you done with my computer?
What are you talking
You've
about?
been smiling the entire time.
Because
Something's
I've
happened.
enjoyed Numancery or whatever it is. Fucking great.
That's how much you enjoyed it.
That's how much I loved it.
What did you
I've done
do?
nothing. I'm not one of those people who fucks with other people's computers.
What is
And
my
I'm giving-
wallpaper now?
Nothing.
How old a gag is that?
I know.
Changing a
Oh,
tile.
man.
So it's wallpaper.
Oh, the filth that I've found. on the
Oh, it's so much fun.
The library, if
God.
you could get into a real New York library, you would change all the desktop backgrounds of those ones in there.
No one sent me their library card number yet, and a lot of people suggested Miles, and that's a really good shout. Of
course.
I should contact Miles.
Oh, he would totally do it.
Yeah, but I also want a second one as a backup. I want a second one as a
For
backup.
God's sakes, don't make it this difficult. And then when someone gives you a solution, go,
we
that's
know,
where's he living
like,
as
of
well?
course
Like-
Miles will fucking do it, but I have to contact him and go like, hey, can I get you to sign up to a library? And you
And you
have
know
to,
he'll
like,
say yes,
email
'cause
them
he's
two
so damn
forms of
lovely.
it.
If
I
you
know.
If you
he
send
living
him
in,
an,
like,
if you send him
LA
an
or
email
something?
now and just be like, congratulations on your award, everything's great,
Yeah,
and then you know you
yeah,
open the
yeah.
line of conversation,
I-
you'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, you
Hey.
butter him up
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
funny
Yeah.
thing just occurred to me.
Yeah.
I really want
You,
access.
Steph,
you know how I
you
would-
live in America, right? Of course I do. Of course I fucking live in America.
You know how Steph and I were single-handedly responsible for your short-run TV career? How you could repay
Maybe you owe
the
me.
favor. But he should be watching right now as well if he was a true friend. Okay, cool. Let's go to a short break. We'll be back right after this.
There it is.
Let's give it to him.
He said...
We built this city. We built this city too close to the beach coastal city. We built this city on erosion. I warned you when we zoned this. It was not the right place. You said you wanted coastal views. Now they're splashing in your face. Neck deep in the water is where we sleep at night. Kitchens and aquarium. Oh God, that isn't right. I told you when we built it, this was just far too close. Don't you remember, Bryce? We wrecked this planet. Now we're gonna get eaten by the ocean. Oh God, I'm drowning. I never told you this, but I can't swim. Why did I move here? The water is filling up both my lungs. Coastal city, you claimed another when well this ain't getting blurry. I'm sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Coastal city, it's coastal city now.
Shenanigans. Stop it. Shenanigans. Stop pushing. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Stop it. 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 For shenanigans. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Shenanigans. Shenanigans for shenanigans. Shenanigans. Stop it. Shenanigans. 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 Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Most shenanigans. 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 Bullshit. It's bullshit.
Stop it.
It's so intense. It just builds.
It's real. It's
like
real.
pressure cooker.
It's real frustration.
Oh, guys, I made a big mistake. I had the leftover bit of taco. It's
You were belchy enough
spicy as
before
fuck.
it.
I was burpy. I was phlegmy.
We realized why Steph was so quiet at the start. She has to sit closer to you now. And so when you're expelling gases like that, you're dealing with all of that. We're all over here. We're safe. We don't get all this burpy gas.
What was wrong with me?
You looked exhausted from his burping.
That's not what she was thinking at all. Was it?
No. I think I was grossed out by your burping.
Yeah, you're disgusting filth.
Yeah, that's
Piece of
right.
shit. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, of course, to those words from our sponsors. We
right.
saw
We hate us.
Coastal Cities ad there. Love that one. Haven't seen that one in a while. Classic that there was a bit of sound for that one. Bit of a sound hiccup on the first one there for... Who's ad?
Avexia.
Avexia's.
Sponsor.
But it had Raj in it, so we decided that was definitely why that fucked
That was the
Raj.
problem.
Foiled by Raj.
Don't worry, Pete. Flagellated him. What's what I'm looking for?
Flatulated.
No.
That's why you sit
That's
with
him.
Oh. Self-flagellated.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yep.
punished yourself. Yeah,
Whipped himself with a big H.
Yeah.
That was Will's fault, though.
Oh yeah, fuck
Oh,
Will.
don't throw him under the bus.
Piece of shit.
That was after...
How about a little less hand on the hose and a little more fingers on the sound buttons?
Fuck you, Will.
We don't mean it, Will. We don't mean it. It's just, it's getting to the end of the year and we're testy. We're testy.
And Jimmy needs a break.
Jimmy needs a break.
We all wish we went to Melbourne.
Jimmy needs a break. Okay, let's move on with the next segment. A very quick segment, but also a very good gameplay. Presented by
Intel.
No, I get it.
Oh, he's doing a bit. Everyone wait.
presented by. Good.
Now what's that? Oh, you gonna? I thought you were gonna do
that was worth
a full
cutting back
bit
to.
about Avexia, where you
Worth
go
coming back to.
Avexia. Who? Oh, I said it.
That was better than that Halo joke you did earlier.
That was a bad joke.
That was a
wasn't it?
bad
That was
joke.
I don't
missed
even
it,
remember.
I missed it.
I
I don't even remember it.
wasn't good.
It was so unmemorable.
The problem is that when you have a hit rate as high as mine,
Oh fuck! off.
when you swing and miss, it's really
He's right.
obvious.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and I'm right.
You throw your
I
shoulder out.
I'm gonna look. I'm being totally honest and humble here.
This is from the man that said calcified cheese, milk,
yeah,
something earlier.
Butter.
Butter.
Yeah.
That was a great bit. Ghee.
great bit,
yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
ghee is,
Yeah,
but now I do.
Yeah, there you
Calcified
go.
butter.
I'm being totally humble and honest here. I'm fucking hilarious. So when it doesn't hit, it's just like it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I would say that if it doesn't hit, it's bad. It's either awkward or terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like this bit was born from the fact that sometimes you veer into territory that I think is dangerous.
Yep.
And that's when I start to do panic hands.
Yep.
And then they got so high
That's right.
that I was
Well,
like,
that's when I talk. They hit the
Next-
ceiling.
next
It's not a
I'm
slow
talking.
thing with me. It's just
Okay, so let's move on with the next part of the show. So this is a strange one. But today, this is about as hot a release as you can get on this show.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
In terms of it dropped 2 hours ago. Fortnite have put out a mode in the not battle royale thing, but in the creative mode that is Australia, and so we thought that we would jump in and have a look. Basically, they have put in like a visitor center.
a touristy visitor center, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is serving as a hub zone for a bunch of mini games. Just first of all,
Is that
before
a
we get
real
into it,
dog?
did everyone know that? Like,
No,
if
it's
you
the
walk-
dog with the hole in its head that you give a donation to.
Oh, the guy.
But you can pat
That's
it.
a Labrador.
You can pat it. Woof woof. Did everyone know if you walk slowly in Fortnite, you do this? Hang on. You saw it before. Hang on. Wait.
You saw it before. You saw it.
How did I?
You saw it before.
You didn't do it. No one saw it. You
This
didn't
is
do it.
bad.
What are you
What
doing?
is
Are you just
that?
running
Well,
on
it's
the
because
spot?
most people play Fortnite.
Why is
with
the butt?
People are
Why
running
is the
with
butt
bullets.
sticking out
and you
so
can't
much?
walk like
That's how
with a mouse
people
and
run,
keyboard.
Steph. Never run before.
Let's head in.
You should recognize this because this is your favorite place to shoot people.
in the butt. It is a visitor center.
Yeah, and so this was made. So I've got the name of the
on the
dev
screen.
studios. It's on the screen when you
Alliance
Alliance Studios and Zen Creative. So they're two Australian devs, and this was made by the Australian arm of Fortnite and Epic to do something for the fact that no one can come and visit Australia. So the idea was like, you can bring your friends to Australia via a visitor center.
That's
Jaunty
heaps
dog.
cute.
Good.
And of course New Zealand. We contractually have to say New Zealand because they're in the ANZ.
You know what it looks like? It looks like in musical theatre when you have villagers come out and do like a chorus piece. And they're like, everyone in this town is great. Like,
Australia, it's the town down under. It's adorable, but it's also been filled out as like a visitor center. It's not just that thing where you used to run up to signs in games that are just blurry. It's like it's all written. They've gone in here and there we go. Alliance
there you
Studios
go.
and Zen Creative. So they filled it out like a tourist center, which arguably, when you've had to go to them, it's usually on a school trip or like killing time with your parents on a holiday. But in this sense, I really like it because it's like
It's huge.
it's huge.
Do you reckon visitor centers are still around?
I just can't believe they've built all these like. I live in a tourist destination. There are definitely visitor
Oh, of
centers.
course.
In fact, we have a place called Scenic World.
It's a big sell. That's
Which is very exciting. You can go there and you can look at the scenery from a gondola.
Is it a vernacular? What do they call them? Yep, one of
There's
those.
one of those. The world's
From a boat.
No, not a
boat
boat gondola. One of the ones that goes
Oh,
like
right. I was like, there's not a lot of slow running.
You're thinking of a Venetian.
Yeah.
When the
Straight off the
moon hits you. No, a gondola. A verticulator.
Vernacular.
Verticulator.
I think a matriculator they put in the heart to open up the
Yeah.
valves.
One of those.
It's the world's steepest train.
You work there?
maybe the southern hemisphere, Steve? Is it the world?
Oh, hang on.
Maybe it's
Is it one of
the
those
steepest
pop-outs?
train in the southern hemisphere.
Hang on.
And then there's a thing. What do you call the thing that goes across?
Cable car.
Cable car.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I feel like this is wonderful, but I feel like there are things to be
show me, guys.
here.
Show me around Australia.
This is a really wonderfully put together thing, but they have just committed a crime here that is not forgivable, which has been in so many video games for so many years. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the emu. One of the iconic birds of the Australian outback. Emus are the second largest bird in the world, and those are fucking ostriches.
They kind of are.
They kind of are. They're always ostriches.
Because the white
never have the
feathers.
like.
It's more, yeah.
I think they've actually really tried, but I used to play
I think
games.
it's the glass reflecting the light from the space.
Maybe you're right.
I think
Maybe you're right.
I think two ostriches,
Make an emu.
duos came in and shot the emus.
Yep.
And this is it's an ostrich royale.
I used to play games where they're like, look at that emu, and it had its head in the sand in like old video games. I'm like, they don't do that. That's ostriches. Always mixing them up. Oh, I can't
You
go.
care about very weird things.
I do. But I will say this is kind of cool because they have put a bunch of mini games in there that you can access. And there is something that I'm actually going to want to do in my own time now, which is a VIP room that you can only get into if you get all the coins here. So if you run over here and get all the coins, you're allowed to get in.
Do you know how
here.
many coins you have?
Avexia joined the party. What a nerd. segment. It's his segment.
He can do what he wants.
That's true.
But
There's a coin outside. There's a coin outside.
Well, this is
Just grab the ones that we can see and we'll see if we can get in.
Okay.
I know that crossing sign. That's an Australian crossing sign.
so Australian.
There's no coin out here.
Hey, go around the corner.
he
No,
is.
out.
What
out,
the
out,
hell is he
out,
wearing? Okay,
out.
okay.
He's Ariana Grande,
left.
probably.
Around.
There it is.
All right, there it is.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh my
Straight ahead.
god.
To the cafe.
Oh, you can get
Can you get Australian stuff at the cafe?
Yeah,
Let's check the menu.
just chips with tomato sauce on them.
Bunch of
I could seagull it.
That's an ostrich.
That's an ostrich. It's on the menu. Hang on. See, that's your old blurry
that's-
sign.
That's you have menus like this where you live.
Yeah,
That was
totally.
Oh, but it's all in a Bay Marie. That's classic Aussie. No, but we should mention. Oh, hello. We should
Grab
mention.
a drink.
Grab another drink.
Just grab it.
Grab a drink.
I did.
Hope you're not spending those coins.
Grab a drink. You got 3 drinks.
You got
Oh, I've got all the drinks.
You got a lot of drinks, man. Calm down.
Slurps.
Glug glug glug.
There's a coin.
Get the coin.
There are mini games.
Gonna get into that VIP room if it's
There
the
are
last
many
thing we do.
Come on, it's
Meanwhile, Ariana Grande is gonna.
That's the most fabulous way to get around a tourist center.
Good. Yeah, and so there are 4 mini games as well. There's a surfing one. They're all, I believe, they're all co-op. We haven't had a chance to really check this out. There's a so this is a baking one where it's like you make food, you compete with other people and make different dishes, like Australian dishes, and send them out to a restaurant.
Overcooked.
Like Overcooked.
Very Overcooked.
This one, I'm not quite sure what this is. It's something to do with building, like going to I'm sure it's not Bunnings.
Might have
I don't think Fortnite
one
have
of
the
those
Bunnings
kind of
IP
things. Sure.
yet.
It'll be.
I thought they did do a Bunnings partnership with Laserbeam.
Oh, that's right. He
There
has
was, like,
he
him
has a
in a-
tradie thing, and he sits on an esky and he eats a meat.
does
pie.
too,
That's
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if
but
that-
I don't know if
Paid
I
to do that?
I don't know if it's Bunnings.
It's just
I think
high vis.
It's just.
high vis tradie kind of.
I think
thing.
maybe. I think he.
Bunnings logos.
I think it was. I didn't see Bunnings logos, but I think he was just a tradie before he was a streamer.
But you
so it's like-
basically, I think you have to like collect things and then build a house, which I like. That's Avexia Grande. This is the surfing one, so it's like a surf competition thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a race. Basically.
It's a race, yeah,
You
right.
ride on them. You ride around checkpoints.
And then
What's
this
the last
one is
Kiwi hideout. I did this one. You run around an enclosure trying to find randomly spawned kiwis,
Yeah, nice.
which, and we'll say this probably all of them. That was the one I dived into for 5 minutes. The rest of them, I think it's all made for multiplayer because jumping in by yourself in an enclosure to find a kiwi felt like there was a leaderboard.
very easy.
Very easy, and yeah.
So kind of your friend to join you on this journey.
Do a dance, Avexia. Do a dance.
But there's a coin in that thing.
Is there?
Is there? It's
that's-
glowing.
That's to hit a button to support the creators.
Don't do that.
Don't want to give me my coins.
Yeah, but I wanted to put it out because I think that it's made by Australian devs. Like they got 2 Australian dev teams to put it together, which I think is
Never
really
seen
cool.
an emu before.
So except for the emu thing, they probably have it pretty spot on. But also it's cool to have like Australia represented in a big game like.
Yeah, I mean, I just never knew that the creator mode was so detailed and that you could create such detailed things. But I guess if you put it in the hands of actual game devs, then they're going to
Do you
go
think
nuts with it.
do you think these guys looked up like from a
This is copy pasted.
copy paste because I'd only feel confident doing that. Otherwise, they should just write what they think each animal does.
From Omnipedia.
It's from Omnipedia. This dolphin was the killer.
The dolphin lays at least 30 eggs a week and has been known to walk on land. Just make up facts. But no,
cool.
I think it's generally quite accurate. So
Yeah, it's nice. I
And
like it.
yeah, I mean, like Epic have a few cool there he goes on the launcher now that are like very creator focused, and obviously like building stuff in Fortnite is cool, but the core system as well.
yeah.
All of that like is using a lot of classic Epic Unreal Engine assets.
cool.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
I'm
Yeah,
impressed.
cool.
yeah, amazing.
I think the code's up the
impressed
top
too.
there, and then I think if you look it up on their Twitter or something, that's because that's
Yes,
how creator
right,
works.
got it.
You put
Yeah.
in an island
It's that
code.
12-digit code at the top.
Yeah, but there's I mean I haven't
There's a
played around in
there's a
Creator
hub
too
world
much.
that you can like just pick.
Yeah.
stuff
You
from,
can pick, and I'm sure at this point it's probably being pushed as the main thing.
I sponsored a quokka at school.
Was it this one?
I must have been this. I know that quokka. Did they talk about the selfies in here? The happiest animal in the world, it's been called.
Yeah.
Due to their friendly disposition and their tendency to smile at the camera. They don't smile at cameras. They don't know what's going on.
Just have a cute little happy face.
They do.
Yeah.
The platypus.
Wait, what? Platypuses don't have stomachs.
Unlike most animals, platypuses don't have stomachs.
What do they do?
You did a
I can tell you some interesting facts about platypuses.
Go.
Actually, platypodes is the plural.
Oh, yeah.
It's not platypi like everyone jokes about. or
No,
thinks.
because it's either Greek or Latin,
Okay,
and I think if it would be platypi if it was Latin,
fair enough.
but it's Greek, so it's platypodes. So platypus mamas, when they have platypus babies,
moved on.
they don't they have platypus milk, but they don't have little teats.
Uh-huh.
The platypuses just like sit on their belly and they secrete milk up through
What?
their stomach.
Correct.
But they don't have a stomach.
Oh,
Well, through their belly. Like,
Yeah, right.
And because of, and
call
then
it a belly.
because of that, it's like potentially
belly
exposed to bacteria, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like all where the dirt
Yeah,
and
it's
the
just- yeah, it's
life
going
and
through
stuff
it.
is. So the milk in itself has really high antibacterial properties, which we are now using and synthesizing it to create medicine.
Which is where the old phrase comes from. When you see a platypus, lick its tum-tum.
I was going to say, if I'm out in the wild and I cut myself, want to find me a group of platypods, just ring them out on my knee.
rub them on you.
Yeah.
Platypodes.
Platypodes, sorry.
I learned that when I hosted that National
And of
Geographic
course,
show.
the echidna and the platypus
Yep.
are both monotremes. That's the one thing. They're egg laying and milk, and they milk their young. They
Also,
give milk to their young.
I got to touch one.
I literally nearly said, but so do humans.
I got to
No.
touch one, and the bill, you'd think it would be like really firm like a duck,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's soft like leather.
Oh.
And it feels really weird. And also, they're really cute and mischievous, and they like, they like get to know the enclosure lady, and they like follow her around, and they're really cute like a little dog.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
A dog that just secretes milk, right?
with like a little venom barb under its.
Well, that's the thing. They have that one barb on their back thing that'll
They
kill
got
you.
to protect themselves somehow.
That's
From
true.
what? From what?
Me and my grazed
from
knee
old
coming
mate
at him for their
platypode
their
wrangler.
Offer them for a platypus leather belt if you
Yeah.
keep taking those bills.
Fuck carrying around bottles of hand sanitizer during COVID days. I could have just been rubbing two platypods together.
I think the real enemy of the platypus is erosion and development.
Oh my God, way to bring it down.
Sorry.
All right, go to Steph's Twitter page to donate to the platypuses who are all
Platypodes!
forced out by.
Have you learned nothing?
who have been forced out by.
There wasn't
by-
enough room
by-
on the epic thing to write a description this big on the enclosure. But
All right, good. I
to
think
know.
we all learned something today. And we're about to learn something new with our new segment, Pocket Dial.
Listen, you piece of shit. Hi, you've called Pocket Dial. Leave your message after the beep.
Presented by Jepp. Pocket Dial. It's a Jepp thing.
Avexia, before mobile phones, there were these things called landlines, and that's how we spoke to each other.
I have this very annoying service on my phone that when someone calls and leaves a message, I get my phone tells me that you've missed this call.
Yep.
But then I get a message from a message service going, you have a missed call. I'm like, I know, my phone has already told me that.
That's your-
But then it sends me a WAV file. Yeah, it's all very strange.
That's
I have an
provided.
odd thing that's similar. I have a thing that is when someone asks for a Twitch code, a code to log into our Twitch account,
Yep.
I get a text message.
Yeah.
And then you can also, when you get that prompt for the code, say, send me a text message. And then it sends a text message it comes from a different source. So there's like an app that sends a text message, and then when you ask for a thing to be sent to the mobile number that's attached to your account, it's coming from a different thing.
It's a scam.
It's as big a scam as stealing library books.
Oh yeah, give me your library cards. Okay, cool. So we launched this segment last week. Pocket Dial is where we got a phone number, and that phone number is
We just played.
02 8405
still-
7996.
that's longer.
That's 02 8405 7996.
Deleted.
It's on our socials. It's on our Discord. Whatever. Call that up. Leave us a message. We just want to know your secrets. We want to know your weird sort of like midnight thoughts. Your shower thoughts. Yeah, you could call
Your
us
toilet
shower.
thoughts.
That's fine. Toilet thoughts.
Lot
We
of
know you
time
got
on the
time,
toilet.
boys. We know you got time, boys.
In between movements.
Hey,
No.
in between
we know you
movements.
got time,
We've got
boys.
2 to 3 minutes in between movements where you're just sitting there
as
waiting
I like
for
to
your
call
body
it,
to do what it needs to do.
The intermission. Then
Oh,
just
very
pick up the
nice.
phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, good.
Little theatre joke there.
So we've had people call in. We don't know what these messages are, so let's just play the first one and see what happens.
Well, this can only go well.
Okay.
Message 1.
Hi guys, can we all just talk about how being an adult means having your favourite burner on the stove, but nobody ever mentions it, but everybody has one? Isn't that crazy? Anyway,
crazy.
bye, love you all.
That's a good thought.
That's a good. Thank you, whoever that was. No name left. No
That's
name
fine.
needed.
No name needed if you don't want.
Fine. If you're too embarrassed by leaving a name to that question, then that's totally fine. Does it?
100%.
I absolutely have a favorite.
Yeah. But mine's
There's
really
the king burner.
That's the problem. Like, I've got the dumb answer, which everyone will. It's like I just
that's
use the big one and I just turn it down when I want less heat.
I like the smallest one.
What?
What do you like?
What's wrong? I like the one that has the big wok attachment. That's
That's the
like
biggest
This
one.
is
That's the biggest one.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the biggest one as well. And Beck likes the smallest one. There's something going on.
They're gendered.
There's something going on.
Because the big one can like.
I like the medium one, says Ruff.
Shut up, Ruff.
I just want
The
to say I like
smallest
medium
one is a good size for the pot. I find the big one sometimes
Flames lick up.
The flames lick up.
Yep.
I like
know,
to.
and
I like to
then-
when I grab the pot, get burned a little,
Same.
singed on my knuckles. So I'm like,
The
yeah,
little
it's doing
one's
its job.
perfect for porridge. It's perfect for soup.
I mean-
which are two of my favorite.
I mean, of
things to
course,
eat.
there are some advantages of like if you are trying to. But my thing is like if I'm trying to make a sauce or something, of course I'm going on a little.
Yeah,
I'm going on something where I need the temperature control. But if I'm boiling water for pasta or something, I'm putting that thing on the biggest thing with the highest flame. But then Beck will put it on
It's just-
the smaller one, and it'll get to like this low boil, and I'm like, no.
called
As soon
a
as you put the
simmer.
pasta in here, it should not stop boiling. If anything, it should boil harder. Yeah,
Wet
so
that
it's
dry.
100% the big one.
I just feel like the big one's quite like, yes, I understand practically the big one is for a lot of cooking, but it's not my favorite because it's too volatile. Like so often you cook stuff on it and it's just I can't get the heat right, and then it's like it's still too hot even though I've turned it right down.
I
Good
think-
point that there's a
okay.
difference between favorite and most used.
I would love to try a test. I will do this when I get home. I'm going to put 2 pots of water on. I'm going to put it on the.
We're gonna have a boil off. We're gonna have a boil off.
The full heat of the
old-fashioned
smallest one.
boil off.
I haven't finished my theory.
Sorry. Yep,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
do the hottest on the smaller one, and I haven't finished my theory. I'm going to do it at the smallest flame I can on my big one, which I do. I bring my eyes right down. I click it. I'm doing the click, 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 click until I can bring it right down to a tiny little
Yep.
blue flame. I wonder if that is okay to do your simmerings, your small, your
No, it's
porridge,
still-
and
no,
stuff
it's
like
too much-
that.
it's
Or
still-
you reckon you'll still burn it doing that?
It also depends. Like sometimes you need the smaller surface area.
Yeah.
So you don't put a small pot on a big
That's what I
on a
mean. The
burner that's
flames
bigger
come
than
up around
pot.
the other side.
Not if it's on the absolute lowest.
If we're talking
heat.
about boiling water, yes, I'll always use the big one.
Okay.
Unless it's for a little pot, in which case I'd use the medium one. But we're not talking about the medium one today.
Fuck the medium one, rough.
No one gives a shit about the menu. It's go hard or go home. Like you're opposite ends of the spectrum.
I'm just saying that I
Fucking
like
rough
using
up.
the little pot on the little burner. It feels clean and concise, and it's
Love you, rough up,
reliable,
but
and
honestly.
it heats evenly, and it gives me great porridge every time.
All right, and that's all Steph wants is great porridge every time. Okay, great. Good. Next voicemail, please.
Hello, this is Wanking Fast.
Hey.
I was seeing if you could convince my wife to let me get another watch. Thank you. Bye.
Another watch.
Watch.
Okay, well, like how many watches does he have?
This is a question for Peter, who has bought like 4 watches in the
Never
past
wears a watch
3 months
in his life.
and doesn't.
I
wear
like a
one.
big watch.
And-
I've never seen you wear a watch.
I wore a watch at the ABC every day,
Prove it.
but I mean, there's videos of me with it on.
He inherited a watch from his dad.
I say present the videos.
Wait, can you inherit something if someone hasn't died? You said you inherited a watch from his dad.
His dad got a new one.
Is that an inheritance? Or is that just a gift?
It was a hand gift.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I wore watches every day through till I started working, and then, I mean, mobile phones became more and more practical for it, and I kind of realized that I didn't need to be wearing a watch all the time. I still like to wear a watch. There's something like I still look at my.
He doesn't. I
literally
a bare wrist.
I still do that. I look at my bare wrist every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not wearing a fucking watch.
And what time is it when you look at your wrist?
Freckle past a hair.
Oh, don't fool me.
What?
Freckle past hair. You never heard that?
No.
Such a dad thing.
Non-watch
What's the time?
wearing
Freckle
losers
past
over
a hair.
My dad
Wear watches
wasn't
all the
that
time.
kind of dad.
Fair enough. She says pulling up her wrist to reel
The only person wearing a watch. Oh no, that's the watch side. I'm
we're all wearing
I'm the only
watches.
one not wearing a
we're
watch.
human beings.
You guys are all wearing smartwatches. I tried the smartwatch
I'm not wearing a
thing.
smartwatch.
Oh, okay, nice.
Dumb as shit.
Dumb as shit. Yeah, I haven't found myself putting it on.
But after
I was back into
my
it. If you watch some
confusion is
episodes
that you wanted to start wearing a watch, but
I tried 3 different watches and they all sucked. They
Okay.
didn't all suck. The one I like best is the
But what we're trying to do, we're trying to convince,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
convince
Yeah.
Mel,
Yeah.
wanking fast,
Correct.
from memory,
Has either said no or I prefer you not.
So I
him get one.
think we need to what we need to do
Yeah.
is we need to reframe how we think of watches, because I think we think of watches as a very expensive purchase, but most watches you can get for between like $200 and $500, which of course is a lot of money. But at the same time, it's not like we're not talking. Well, I assume he's not buying a ton of Rolexes. You got to think of watches like shoes, watches like shoes or handbags or hats or like
when I
something
was
a little more expensive than like shirts or shorts, but like not every watch goes with every outfit. Like
when
the
I was
way,
wearing analog watches, I had lots of different watches.
yeah, you got it.
And I would change them for different outfits and stuff like that, and I enjoyed doing that. But now that I have a smart watch, I just have the one.
I fucking hate smartwatches so much.
I love it.
I'm still on the Apple
I love
Watch
it.
train, but I have this, and I have an analog. I have an analog watch for dressing up in something nice. I know what you mean. You can have lots of watches for lots of different outfits. I think you
Which
can
is
have.
why he
your
should get another watch.
yeah,
If he's only got one,
but how do we?
I'd say 2.
Mel, let him do it.
What's the argument though?
The argument is, hey, well, you need to buy something for her.
Let
That's
the man
the thing.
express himself through his wrist.
No, she needs to get something as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it's like you both get something. So you both you either both get something as expensive as the watches he wants, or you halve that money and you get him one of those watches. I'll tell you what, Mel. Make it that yes, you will buy him watches, so she can go to the Kmart and use the things where you put in $1 and crank the dial, and a plastic ball comes out, and you open it up, and sometimes there's a watch, sometimes there's a shitty yo-yo. So if she gets to pick the watch, any cost, then maybe she'll be into that.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. If it's a smartwatch and you want another smartwatch, there needs to be a really good reason why this second smartwatch is going to do things the first
think it is.
smartwatch
Who buys
didn't.
Wanking fast.
If it's-
I have
if
3
it's an
watches. I have 3 watches and expensive taste. Says Wanking fast. So
yeah.
he has 3. I was gonna say.
Are they luxury watches? May I
It says,
ask?
he says they're
He said
expensive.
expensive taste.
Well, in that case, I would say, because I looked into this also, that they are an investment, and you can, and like designer things, you can keep them and then resell them, and they keep their value. There are
StockX.
like watch selling websites, and if you keep the packaging and everything, you can resell them for a lot of money later. So it's like
So that's the pitch.
that's
It's an
the pitch. It's an investment, and if you want to sell
It's
it,
like
then
gold.
you
It's
can.
only an investment if you buy yourself a watch upwards of $30,000-$40,000, because otherwise it's going to decrease in value. If you're going to buy a watch as an investment, go hard or go home.
Yeah.
Like a burner.
Yeah.
How much did you say?
30-40 grand.
That's insane. No, you can buy like a $2,000 watch, and then you can sell it for
30
like something similar on a secondhand watch website if you keep it.
So option A, it's an investment. Option B, she gets to pick the watch and buy it for you. And then she can pick whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Gus, did you have anything?
I was gonna say, like, just do what some people do, just change the watch band. Grim Pixel mentioned it. I'm like, I'm down with that.
Oh, like a
Nice
freshen
watch.
up?
Yeah.
I thought you meant my dad, when he was 18, between 18 and 21, he bought 7 different cars So he'd sell his old one and buy a new one. But it's what he sunk all his money into. But his mum, my grandmother, did not like the idea of him constantly doing this. So he just kept buying cars the same rough shape and color, and she never noticed that he was upgrading his car slowly over the course of 3 years. I'm
buy
saying
an imitation watch of the really expensive one you want, and then buy like the semi kind of close designer one, and eventually work your way up to the $30,000 watch. And the partner's thinking, I can't believe you still got that old
and hope
watch.
that she's not watching right now.
$30,000 watch would have to do some James Bond shit for it to
They
work.
don't.
No,
the more expensive they get, the less they do.
They're nothing.
Yeah.
They're just a ticking
All right, next voicemail.
Hey guys, this is Mel. No, just fucking no.
I think that's a fair perspective.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, why did we waste all that time? Oh, that's cool.
That's a good argument.
Next one?
And I think we know who won.
Hey, Back Pocket. Calling from the United States, where the last 2 years I've been working full-time on pandemic response. And I just wanted to say thank you for making my weird hours manageable and fun, and having a connection back to Australia. It's meant the world whilst we're stuck over here and in the middle of it all. Stay safe.
You're welcome. You owe me your library card number.
You can't.
You have to. You have to call back. You owe me.
You can't. She just says how lovely our show is, and she's been working frontline in the pandemic. You can't milk her for a card.
She's got to read a book. You owe me.
And dictate her passport details over the number.
Yeah.
Just leave a series of messages. One, all your passport details, and the other one, all your birth certificate details.
I cannot emphasize enough. I do not need any personal information about you. I don't need your address. I don't need your name. I just need your library card number and the PIN attached to your library card number. But make sure your PIN is different than like your ATM PIN. Come on, what are the odds? I opened the show with a 20-minute rant about how I want to defraud the US library system, and then someone from America calls up and is like, thank you for everything you've done for me. Is there anything, Nick, I could do for you?
That's not what she said.
That's what I heard.
That's not what she said.
Listen, I listened to a podcast where two old ladies took all of this personal information from people and then murdered them because they took out life insurance policies on them.
It's the erosion all over again.
Such a fucking bummer tonight.
I feel like maybe the library card thing, they don't want to part with it. It could be too risky. That's all.
I've said it publicly. If you get killed, you know it was me.
Next caller.
Yeah, guys, this one's for the boys. I'm growing my beard for the first time. I'm wondering what you guys do to avoid food getting in the beard. Thanks, guys.
That's a man who takes 2 hours to poo and uses the pig burner.
They're picking food out of his beard on the loo.
I got 2 words for you, mate. Beard bib. Beard bib. That's what you need. So it's a little bib. It comes here. And it wraps up there, and you tie it off over the top of the ears and back there, and it just catches any stray food that drops there. Nothing you can do about the mustache.
No, the mustache one, they used to have the ones that they'd hold up. They'd used to, when they eat or drink, they had the...
Oh, you're talking about the mo hat. So you put the beard bib, and then you put on a mo hat to pull it up, and then you just got bare lips, ready for food.
I don't think I've ever gotten food in my beard. I don't, like, as in...
Moustache is the worst. As soon as you let your moustache go over your lip, you're going to get milk from your coffee in it, and
That's
then you're
true.
going to smell rancid milk.
That's happened once or twice. That, or once I just got a blob of yogurt in there, didn't know, and about halfway through the day just went, oh no. And there was just like dried dairy in the beard. That's. I think just lean forward over any sloppy meals.
Or just like rectally. Next caller?
If you answer another question, shelve it. We are stopping this.
Just shelve your lunch. Just shelve.
Was that the 5th one or the 6th one?
I don't know.
Let's
go the
go
5th
with
one
6.
again, because
let's go with 6.
No, wait.
We're definitely up to at least 6.
One, and there was one, and then there was watch
Wayne and Mel.
America, my library card scam,
and then beard 5.
Yeah,
so we're up to 6.
Yeah,
number 6.
Hey, Nick, it's Gus here. I've just been out having a few drinks, and I thought this would be a good time to call and just tell you that I really like working with you guys, but you're kind of a prick sometimes. And I just think, like, maybe if you and he were nicer, I'd like working there more. Anyway, I just think this is something I had to get off my chest. I hope you guys are doing well. I love the show, and I can't wait to hear this later on. Anyway, bye. What? Yeah, I'm coming. Okay, I'm sorry. Bye.
That guy sounds like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Very good. Very
And there was definitely no one else in the house.
There wasn't. There never is. There never is.
Oh, good.
I think that's wonderful that we played that. I don't need to. We were testing out that it does.
I need to explain it.
Well, we actually were working out whether or not it can transcribe.
He wants people to know that he wasn't actually drunk.
You don't reckon I hiccup like a 1920s cartoon character?
You're like, the performance was that good.
But you just maintained all the way through to the end.
Yeah, of course.
It's very
It was
impressive.
like a scene.
But the best thing was, and we don't have it, was that it tries to transcribe it, and Nikki read it back, and it was all over the shop.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, okay, right.
So we were seeing what it says, and I'm very happy, and I live alone. Next caller.
Let's just keep going.
Hey, this is a Pie's Face. I feel like this phone line is for us oldies that can't figure out Twitch, so you gave us a phone number instead. Thanks for making me feel old, back pocket. Thanks.
Good.
You are old?
Yep.
That started
No.
like, thanks for this, but then it really took that, thanks.
Yeah.
Really Steph to the end of it there.
Yeah.
But I'm
true.
dying from old age.
I was talking to someone a couple of days ago about how Twitch is seen as a very new thing.
Jesus
What the fuck? Come
but
on.
it
Safe over here.
it's actually
Stop it.
it's actually
There's no gas over here, Stephanie.
shenanigans. It actually is a very old thing because it's basically just like call-in radio.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
someone is hosting and doing something that you are being entertained by, and then occasionally interacts with that audience.
You're
and it's
basically Carl Sanderlands.
Oh, man.
I've always said it.
My dad used
What is
to
he?
my
Is he around? Is he around anymore?
Yeah, he's still there. Still,
He's still
like
on radio?
Love, love
still doing
95
radio,
or
and they're
something.
still making stupid amounts of money.
On Kiss FM or whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah.
I'm more of a Richard Mercer man myself.
Who
My
is
dad, my dad was a 2GB guy, so I used to hear the worst of the worst.
AM radio.
And it was always just people like, and then you have to stand in the line. And here's another thing. I don't know why today we all have to, because it's terrible. And he'd be like, yeah, well, good to hear from you, Beryl. Who's next?
Oh, Beryl is a fucking racist. Isn't he? Well,
Yeah, you're right. It is like, talkback radio, and then this is just us putting a phone number on it. That number is, of course... you're not a DJ, a proper disc jockey, if you don't remember the number and go,
Kiss FM.
I'm sorry. Did I ever say I was a proper disc jockey?
All he ever said
Sanderlands.
was that he's the funniest man alive.
Yeah.
said.
And
Funny people don't remember numbers.
I've said
There's two funny numbers.
I said two things tonight. I'm the funniest man alive, and give me a library card. 02-8405-7996. We need to figure out. Well, see, the thing is it too late to change the number? Because I don't know how we can. I'm sure there's a way we can attach a 1-800 number that we could buy and attach to this service.
1-800 pocket or something.
Yeah, something easy to
right.
remember. Yeah.
No, we'll get this. We'll get it.
We'll get there. I recommend
It's
just
in the chat.
storing.
And also the easiest, like no one wants to remember it. It's exclamation mark, whatever the segment's called.
Yeah.
And then you just copy it straight out of that and send it to your phone.
Yeah,
via
exactly.
whatever finagled devices you kids have.
Yeah, except for
right, thanks, Corn
Pieface
Penis.
or whatever her name is, who is like doesn't know how to work any of the Twitch chat bots.
Take a Snapchat and Snapchat it to your friends.
Hey,
Snapgram.
Pieface. Was it Pieface?
Pieface?
Can you play it again?
Hey, this is a Pie's Face. I feel
Tired
like
face?
this
A Pie's
phone line
face?
is
A
for
Pie's
us
face?
oldies that can't figure out Twitch.
Okay.
So you
Anyone
gave
in
us a
chat?
phone number instead. Thanks for
Tired
making me
face
feel
or a
old, back
pied
pocket.
face?
Thanks.
I saw there was a pious someone in chat
A
before.
pious face.
Pious face. So
Pious
here's a little something. Oh look. So here's a little something that you might not know. A pious face or whatever your name is. You can now take a picture of something that has writing, and then you could just select the words on that. And it like
Your screenshot.
yeah, and it, on your picture, and it like detects. Isn't that cool?
That's pretty cool, actually.
And the one that I've got here is 1-800 West 31st Street, apartment 31E, which is the
God.
place that I live.
That's where you
in
live to
New
get
York.
your
yeah.
scam man lottery cards.
I'm the scam man.
Next caller.
Nick's arms are down and Steph's arms are up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough puff, right in the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how we.
Hello, this
That's how
is
we
the
achieve
VegaBus.
balance.
Vega?
Given that Taylor's
version of Red had just released. I want to hear Nick's thoughts on it, if he's had a listen to it. Cool. Carry on. Be awesome. Thank you. Bye.
I thought he said Halo. He said
Taylor's
Taylor.
version of
Taylor's
Red.
version of Red.
What do those words mean?
Because Taylor Swift entered in a 6-album contract with her first big record deal, or maybe it was the second big record deal, where they owned the masters, but she owned the copyright of the songs.
Right.
And then they sold the masters to someone else, who's the manager of
She
Justin
requested
Bieber,
to buy them back, and they said
multiple
no.
times. And then, without telling her, they sold the masters to Justin Bieber's manager. So she was like, fuck you guys, here's what I'll do instead. Because I own the copyright, and it's been longer than 5 years, because the statute of limitations within the contract is 5 years that you cannot re-record the album. She's re-recording all of those 6 albums again and releasing them as Taylor's version.
Right.
Red has come out a couple of days ago. It is very, very good. The fact that it is 10 years, it was a 2012 album. It's now 2021. So it's 9 years. Her voice has obviously matured a bit. I take it more seriously as a work of breakup pain when it's coming from someone in their mid-30s than someone in their early 20s. And her voice feels less like it is competing with the background instrumentals, where it felt a little bit when she was younger like she was trying to get on top of it. Here, she really has like command of the studio space, and so therefore is definitely more in control vocally, I would say.
I think also from what I know, she has leaned harder into all of the like hidden symbolism and stuff that people like that people like that she does. So the song that she released that is about her breakup with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he was photographed wearing her scarf weeks later, and the scarf was symbolic of something, and so the scarf features in the song and the music video in some way, and people all know that it's about Jake Gyllenhaal, and that's
in the
scarf.
second one, or the re-release.
Yeah. So it's
things that were
all that
alluded
kind of
to are
stuff.
now directly basically called out.
And I would also say that...
Did you say, Jake, give me my scarf back?
That's the name of one of the songs.
I don't know anything. I don't know. I'm not a Taylor Swift person, but I saw an interview with her where she was just like, I'm doing all of that
The
stuff
Taylor
now.
Swift person is right here and was asked the question.
And also, it contains a lot of unreleased tracks. There's 30 songs on this album.
So many songs for an
The best song on the album is All Too Well. It was the best song on the album when it came out. It's the best song on the album still. What do you do when you have the best song on arguably, potentially your best album? You...
A cappella.
You end your 30 album opus with a 10-minute version of this song with... Like, it's a 4-minute original song. It's now 10 minutes. So you've got 6 more minutes of song, of lyrics. It is a better version of already the best song on that album. It is fucking spectacular, I would go so far as to say, and makes the original version, even the version that she re-recorded, the 4-minute version, nigh unlistenable, because it is so fucking good, VegaBus, the 10-minute version of All Too Well. And Mito, I know you agree with me as well. It is so good. Yeah, anyway, Taylor Swift is fucking awesome.
A two-movement act to that final song.
Yep. You could definitely, yeah. That's a perfect po.
I have one last
Perfect
question. What does Justin Bieber's management?
Yep.
What do they get out of buying the?
They get the masters, so they get to.
What can they do with that?
I'm not a copyright lawyer or a master's lawyer,
but
basically,
funny.
so you can, it's basically those are the things of like if you want to put out a new version of that album, then you get the copyright license and you get the master license of they're the ones who can actually like distribute the song. If you want to put that song in a movie, then you need the permission of both the copyright holder and the master holder. So it's kind of like...
So it's like split between the two.
It's a way of going, the artist wrote the song, so they own the copyright, but the record label own the distribution of the song, kind of.
Right.
And so by re-recording this, she now owns the new masters. It's
But
something...
they can't really do anything with those old masters?
No, they can. But
They just need her to sign off?
But she is... So they can't do anything with it because she is not signing off on
That's what I
the
mean.
use of it.
It's like a stalemate.
Yeah.
But it's like they also made an extra sale and were like, here's all the masters. You can't do anything
But
with
it's
them. You don't
also
have the
something
copyright.
that now only works in streaming in that you could not really release get your audience to buy a new version of your album.
Yep.
Like for $30. Like, of course you could for some of them. But in streaming, it's just like, oh, you just click on Taylor's version as opposed to the other one, and the other one gets buried in the algorithm. So,
Yeah, right.
Very clever. Anyway, great song. Great album.
Groovy.
There you go. Thank you, Vega. That was Thank you, VegaBus.
Hi,
It came out
this
like
is BT Nano, and I have a problem. I am deeply considering buying Skyrim for the third time, and I really need somebody to talk me out of this purchase. I don't need to throw another 100 hours into it, right?
No.
Right?
Do it.
No.
Don't do it.
presume-
Honey, who are you talking to? No one! Like that.
Presumably on a new platform.
No, it's just an anniversary edition, I think,
edition.
that's come out with like basically all the mods, all the stuff that they were slowly creating access to over all the different versions.
It's the game
now-
with all the hard work that other people have put into it to make it a better game.
They're mods that are so good that they're like Bethesda have been like, we're going to make them either official or we're going to copy them. And
I mean, if it's going to bring you joy to play this new version,
do it. People like it's so easy to throw shit at Skyrim, but let's not forget it's a fucking excellent game. I think the frustration comes out of the fact that we're just not seeing the next thing yet from them in a new engine.
Yeah,
so
but
it's like
that's
looking
good.
at that big.
But also that seems really far away.
Imagine if you had no one wants Skyrim 2 because Skyrim is like a sequel to Skyrim would not be
Skyrim
good
is
enough.
bad enough.
Come on,
Am I right?
Go fuck yourself. I let you have Taylor without.
That's true. That's true. I'll shut up.
No, I'm furious.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
we got to let the next generation of hardware come out and the next engine come out so they can build something janky on the next engine.
Yeah, true. Go for it. Buy it.
I think my only thing with this, and of course you should do whatever brings you joy. Steph is right. Is just that like it should be released for $10 because I think that what are they really doing? What are they really adding to this thing?
Well, there
other
should be
than
an
the hard work of a bunch of modders?
there should be an option like, when you buy the regular version of a game and they're like, oh, you can pay a
Upgrade
little
path?
bit extra to upgrade to the big
But they can
version.
be how many versions have you bought, and that price keeps coming down based on how many copies of Skyrim you own.
Yeah, there should. Yeah, I agree. There should be something in there for that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I guess not many people buy multiple versions of the game.
I just think just don't do it. Pete, where's my single?
Steph, your single
What
is.
if-
You shouldn't buy it again.
But why?
Because you already own it on multiple platforms by the sound of it. You're saying the third
But
time.
he obviously wants to buy it because there's content in it that he wants to play and he enjoys it and he clearly loves the game a lot. And as a collector, now he has the opportunity to own the game in this new way and enjoy it for many more years to come.
I don't want to yuck someone's yum, but I can think of a lot of better things I could do with 100 hours. Like, Pete, what's 100 hours divided by 10 minutes?
Yeah, Pete.
How many times can I listen to that song?
What is it divided by 100 hours?
Shit.
No.
Shit.
Well, you'd get six,
Hang on.
You'd get Taylor's all within you done 6 times per hour.
So you get
within
six
you?
times per hour. So that's 600 times you could listen. No, it's got to be more than that. 6,000?
600 minutes.
Wait, what?
600.
How many hours of Skyrim are you playing?
100 hours.
You're playing 100 hours and you're getting 6 times an hour. So you're getting
I only need to listen. So if I listen to that song 600 times, that's 100 hours of playing Skyrim?
You could do both.
But yeah, I mean, I could do both. I've listened to that 10-minute version about 9 times. So that's 90 minutes of my life that I spent listening to a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, but you were probably doing something else while you were.
And that was
Just
valuable
just
to
enjoying
you.
the magic.
Yeah,
and buying
exactly.
Skyrim again and playing it again is valuable to him.
True, I did just argue for 10 minutes about why Taylor Swift should be allowed to re-record her own song. So I guess that's kind of like what Bethesda are doing in Skyrim.
Can I comment on the fact that all these angles look like we're in scenes in musicals where we sit with our back to the wall but talk to the other person who's in another room or a prison cell about well, not a prison cell, but
No, it wouldn't be. It would be that. It would be that we're.
I can't. I've got to control this.
That we're in love with each other, but we don't know how to tell each other, so we're singing separately
against the wall.
With the wall
but
in
looking
between us.
looking at the same view of
Yes.
Of the
New York
moon
City
or something,
skyline.
yeah.
And you both do this one? Wait, on this one, when you both do that at the same time,
Yeah.
and there's a split down the
Yes.
middle, and it's
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
then one of them turns the back to it, and then the other one like,
Yeah, and then the music swells and it's like, you call me up again just to break me like a promise.
Is this the song?
The
Yeah,
Taylor
that's
Swift song?
that's one.
Oh, thank God,
one
that
little
didn't
bit.
go for 10 minutes.
All right, let's listen to the next song. I mean,
What number were we up to? I'm going to do this.
8?
It's either the same one again. It's Gus's fault.
Hi, this is BT Nano, and
Just
I
like
have a
Skyrim, we're
problem.
hearing it again.
I am deeply considering buying
Well, now
Skyrim
that he knows
for
the answer,
the
that
third
it is
time,
yes.
and I really need somebody to talk me out of this purchase. I don't need to throw another 100 hours into it, right?
You don't.
Buy it
Right?
again. Buy it again.
Let us know.
Buy it
Call us back and let us know. We'll play it next time on the show.
Here's the last one.
Hi, yeah. Can I just order like a large pizza, family meal, some garlic bread, Pepsi Max? Can I just get Hawaiian and like double sided with Hawaiian with extra
Double-sided?
pineapple? And
Disgusting.
for my second pizza, can I
Never know what to get for the second
Yeah.
one. Just get a margarita. Just get a
Hawaiian
margarita.
Get a
extra
vegetarian and
ham
a pepperoni.
Hawaiian with extra ham?
little extra Hawaiian on the side there, yeah.
Disgusting.
Too much
Revolting.
Hawaiian. I
yeah,
love pineapple on pizza,
what
but
does that come to? And
we don't talk
yeah,
back.
I'll stop by and pick it up. Hey, thanks. Bye.
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
What the fuck was double-sided?
Evil Dead Ash says needs less but
No, I think
No, that's how you order pizza.
grammatically
bit-
it needs fewer So if you're going to pick on someone, get it right.
Hey.
But it needed more If you're ordering food over the phone,
I would say it needed longer arms.
Yeah,
you just stretch
okay,
them out.
okay.
It's like when someone hasn't made up their mind what they want, and when they're at the front of the line and they're standing there looking at the menu and they're like, bye.
I went to I was in a Macca's drive-thru on the weekend, and I was driving with my brother-in-law, and we both didn't really want Macca's, but we were starving, and it was late, and we were like, we just have to get food. We got to the drive-thru. Neither of us have had Macca's in a long time. We don't really have a go-to. Like, when you're actually hungry, you want dinner, not just a snack. You're like, I don't know what to get. We drove to the drive-thru. There was already 3 cars behind us. We both didn't know what we wanted. We looked at each other. We panicked. He just drove up. We're like, we're not ready. We drove up to it like, it'll be fine. There'll be that 10 minutes while someone goes, oh, sorry, 1 second.
Gotta know. You've
We
gotta know
drove
when
up
you're
and they were
ordering.
like, hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can we get? You'd be like, hi.
McDonald's burger.
We would like to have for our dinner tonight 2 meals, the first of which will be. And then he passed it.
Come back to me. Come back to me.
no, after you.
Yeah, exactly. So we panicked.
Was that all the voicemails?
That's all the voicemails.
Okay,
Cool.
great. If you want to send in a voicemail, and by sending in, I mean call up and physically leave a message with your voice, 02-8405-7996. That's 02-8405-7996.
Anonymously, if you would like, you're welcome to put your name in there. It doesn't have to be a question. It can be a statement. It can be an order.
It can be a song.
Make
It can
it
be a
weird.
song.
Be a song.
It can be a poem.
Make
it
it
can
weird.
be a confession. It can be any of these things.
It could be a library card.
Oh my God! Just call up. Actually, don't. 'cause
If you
people
call up
will
and did a
don't-
library
don't-
card number, he would
Yeah.
have to check it as
Yeah,
well.
it'll be such a pain in the
So
ass.
do
and
it.
like,
Do
no,
it.
no, the mailbox.
Do
will
it.
get, no. Not,
Fucking do it, you
not because of
cowards.
my time, because the mailbox will get filled up with people just leaving strings. of
I'm fine with
numbers,
this.
and it's like no one else will be able to leave a message. We've got 200 minutes of mailbox a month.
Yeah, but we delete the ones we already got.
No, it wipes it after a month.
But there is a limit on the message.
Well,
it is like
I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yes, please call in again.
Yeah, that was good. I feel like ideally, this becomes the show. We stop talking about video games. We stop having to come up with fucking segments every week, which is exhausting. We stop having to keep up with the rat race that is video game news and
Like,
current
this is
affairs.
the hardest thing we do all week.
And
pretty fucking long.
we stop having to even sit properly. And instead, we just listen to voicemails about pizza and strings of numbers.
Let's play that stinger one more time.
Listen, you piece of shit. Hi, you've called Pocket Dial. Leave your message after the beep.
Thank you for that segment, Jepp. And also a big shout out to Will for putting together such a great titles.
Mwah.
Good. That the
Jeff's
4-3 TV, the VHS player.
Yeah.
I loved
my
it.
His
God.
finest work since the Nut Chat intro.
Oh my God.
Nut
Nut Chat
Fucking
went
divine.
above and beyond
It's a bit nutty.
what
a
I
bit
could have
nutty.
expected.
God, I missed that segment. We should bring that one back.
We should bring that one back. While we figure out how to bring that one back, we'll be back after this short break.
Nut chat sucks.
This is amplifying our block.
Look at them losing. They just straight back.
Have you lost your fucking mind? Indeed.
Street luge is so crazy. Has anyone ever street luged? I've sat on a skateboard and went down my hill because I was too scared to stand on it. And even that was too much for me. Red Bull, if you're looking for more sponsors,
That takes care of the
I'm
getting
right
down
here.
part.
I'm an extreme sitter.
Cool, that should be good. All done? Yeah, great. So we just saved them in a folder marked patrons, and so for that one it would be Mason, not Nathan.
Cool. Nathan.
No, tricky. I can see what happened there. It's Mason, not Nathan.
Cool. So Mason with an N, so Nathan.
I can't help but hear you say Nathan again. It is Mason. Mason is the farmer.
Nathan.
Let's go over this a few times. Okay, quick exercise. I'll say the word, you repeat it back. Mason.
Nathan.
Nope, Mason.
Nathan.
No, I'm thinking Nathan. Mason.
Nathan.
Nathan?
Nathan.
Ugh! Okay, Mason, not Nathan. Mason, not Nathan. Mason.
Nathan.
No, Mason.
Nathan.
Mason, not Nathan. Ready? Yep, go!
Nathan.
Mason.
Nathan.
Mason.
Oh, Nathan. Nathan.
Mason?
Nathan.
No.
Oh. Nathan.
Wait, what?
What?
The thing you said before.
Nathan.
Fucking kill you!
Always remember, it's Nathan, not Mason. Oh my god! Hey.
Welcome back to the show, and a big thank you there to YowzaB, Sam Funk, and Mason, not Nathan, for their support of Back Pocket Enterprise, the good ship Back Pocket.
I miss the feeling of a little Will's face on the back of my hand.
Mm.
Front of my hand.
Mm.
Anywhere.
Would you say it's the
Anywhere.
most satisfying thing you've ever put your hands on?
I don't remember the line that Steph said, and I was like, it's the most honourable thing I've ever put my hand on.
And that's why William moved to Melbourne.
Good times.
Would say it's the most satisfying thing. It's just such a lovely build-up. If you want to become a member of the Back Pocket community, then all you need to do is head to patreon.com/backpocket or backpocket.gg and become a member of our Patreon. We are almost entirely Patreon supported. Without your Patreon dollars every single month, the show would not exist. Gus would be slapping Will for free. What else?
Sometimes I think we don't deserve to exist. I'll be honest.
Did you say it in a way? Was that with some weird floaty voice?
It wasn't a reference.
No, it wasn't a reference.
No.
You just feel that
it was
tonight.
a real musing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like Peter? Do you feel like today's show has been too loose?
No, it's not too loose. Just awful.
Oh, okay.
Too high.
Yeah.
No.
Generally awful.
Just bad.
Everyone,
Yeah.
little experiment there. We're worried about the Patreon, and we thought maybe it's the funds are starting to, dwindle a little too much. So we thought we'd give you an example of what happens when those funds do run out. So this is what we need. We need more of you to get behind the Patreon and really support the show so we can lift the quality.
What's the example of the funds running out?
Tonight.
I'm saying that tonight's show was so bad.
Okay.
This is what if the Patreon were actually not doing.
Yeah, this was
and yet
it is doing.
Ironically, the Patreon is the highest ever been.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. everyone stop their patronage.
Tell everyone that the show is worth paying for.
Yeah. Steph,
And I would
please
argue-
be the voice of reason.
Here's what I think.
Thank you.
I think while I agree the show does need structure, and tonight was a little bit loose, I would also say that these shows peppered throughout the season are necessary to keep it fresh and zingy. And I would say the fact that we were so disorganized at the start was kind of like a theater warm-up, you know, when you get the energy up of everyone going, and that kind of electricity permeated through the rest of the show and created such great moments as next bad Halo joke. Peter saying the most satisfying thing he ever put his hands on was a game about a ball. Gus's weird Patreon thing that happened that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And me doing whatever this is.
There you go.
Facts about platypods.
Chat. One's in chat if you had fun tonight.
I think we just saved the show.
He's serious.
I think we just saved this show.
We did it, guys. We're going to make regionals. Very good. Very good.
There you go. Okay, good.
Well done. Still funny.
Okay, cool.
Game Club.
Game Club is happening.
Yep.
Pete, are you done? Did you finish?
Sorry.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Finished the last night.
Nice. Good.
Had a great bloody time, I tell you.
Well, hopefully by next week.
Steph liked it.
And we're sitting all the way over here.
I refuse to devote any attention to it.
I refuse to try and
Just
plug
ignore
something
it,
else.
and then it'll go away.
I finished the Game Club game, which was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Good. Great.
So we're going to talk about that in our wrap-up segment when we get around to it, which is Friday next week, maybe.
We've said it now.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a plan?
Yep. 15 hours of game.
In there somewhere.
Yeah.
We, of course, we did the Patreon thing. We did the Game Club thing. Follow us on our socials at Backpocket Vids on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And that's it. That's all we have. It's time to thank the people who really make this show sing, because it's not us. Apparently, according to Pete, we're all shit. Of course, I'm talking about the mods who make sure that even when we go off the rails, they keep it on. There were polls happening tonight that we didn't ask for.
Some people were arguing about it's a freckle past a hair, not a hair past a freckle.
Well, that depends on where the hand is.
Oh, no one gives a shit.
That's why I thought there was a poll about it.
Is this the hair move? Is that the point? Freckle?
Look, one is not to argue with the
It's
logic
either
of
a
what
hair
the
past a
poll
freckle
was.
or a freckle past a hair.
There was a
Thank you to the mods for making the Discord an incredible place to be. Also, Gat, Syntax Error, Kit Carnage, Liz Dahlia, Sithcat, Phoenix O'Lion, Disturb778, Jex, Caboose, and What the Shark.
And of course, a big thank you to all of the Back Pocket patrons who make the show possible. As previously stated, it's all over. But for one last shout out, it's not. I'm totally kidding. Of course, the Top Stitchers who have put in so much of their hard-earned money into the show to help make it what it is. A massive thank you. We are talking, of course, about You've Got Knee.
How is it getting worse?
How
is it getting worse?
I don't know what happened.
What have you done?
I can't explain it
What
to
is
you.
it about this animation
It's
that
just
it
this
just
one.
doesn't
It's too many claps.
It worked last week. It doesn't work this week, so it's a Peter problem.
Has it changed? You've removed stuff from it.
No.
You've changed the file. has changed.
No. Let's just get on with the show.
I've got knee, you've got knee, we've all got Oranishi. You say Nathan, I say goddammit Will, not again, it's Mason, not Nathan. Slowpunk, he might, I've written pink slow here, but he donates fast and often. Happy birthday, mate. It's LokiCat, he's still playing Metal Gear Solid 5. Haha, that joke's already old. He's leaking from all of his milk nipples. He's a platypus, it's Akarash. Hey, I just installed this brand new shooter and goddammit, Avexia is already level 30. He's your favorite Twitter follow. It's Nigratex. Don't use a shitty home brand box. Use a boxy. Box your corpses in a boxy. We built this city, then we sung this city, then we unfortunately sunk that city, but he's still happy. It's Coastal City. Max Jazz Games. Kung Poopy isn't just a game, it's a state of mind, but mainly it's a game, and you should play that game. Kung Poopy, available now in the iOS App Store. What happens in the VegaBus stays in in the VegaBus. Destroyer of worlds, then builder of worlds, then seller of worlds. It's a pretty good gig when you think about it. It's Timothy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? It's Jepp. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No! Bad evil spy boy. Bad boy. Head to tasteofmultifish.com for more information. And to our American correspondent, it's Fraham, spreading the good word pocket across the USA. Give me a fucking library card.
You can't add that every week now.
Watch me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's it.
What a great bunch.
Fraham sponsors the post show, which of course is coming up. And I'm sure will feature a lot of really like cogent intellectual discussions.
We're going
about
to
video
tighten this
games
thing right up.
and a couple of really fun gameplay segments and stuff. Yeah.
Totally.
We're
going to turn this ship around.
Finally, don't forget that there's a merch store. Christmas is coming up, or any other holiday that you might celebrate that also involves the crass commercialization of the death of Lord and Savior. Then
Santa?
you can buy. Yeah,
Santa's dead?
I am so sorry to be the one to tell you, but Jesus killed him. I know.
I knew it.
Yep.
If anyone was going to, Jesus was jealous.
You know what I've always said about Jesus?
Yeah.
He's the real Judas of that group.
Yep.
I'm back, baby. Good night.